A bowl game, rather, it is when they play each other, as they do today. Nebraska and Oklahoma in truly the big game. From Norman, Oklahoma, it's College Football 81 on ESPN. Today's telecast is brought to you by Owen Field, Norman, Oklahoma, Nebraska. Hello, I'm Jim Simpson. If there's one thing that you will not hear as this telecast goes on is the almost quiet you hear now moments before kickoff. I can't believe it. It is, of course, a sellout. Coming to Oklahoma several days ago, we've heard three things. Number one, Nebraska is going to the Orange Bowl. Number two, Oklahoma is going to the Sun Bowl. Number three, the fact that there was a classic game played here 10 years ago, and they don't expect that. But there's a fourth, and that is, Bud Wilkinson, that in the hearts of the Oklahoma fans that I talk to, they figure, no matter what the odds makers say, Oklahoma's going to win again, even though they're underdogs. And the few Nebraska fans I've been able to talk to, some of them say, we always find a way to lose. There seems to be a mystique. And someone wrote in the paper this morning, this is a game for Sigmund Freud.
Well, there's an awful lot of psychology in it. Barry Switzer's had nothing but good fortune against Nebraska. He's won 8 games, lost only 1 to Tom Osborne. And when you got that kind of record going for you, you got to feel fairly confident. Oklahoma's problem is to not put the ball on the carpet, as they say, to give Nebraska too many turnovers. And Nebraska, of course, will be hampered today without their quarterback, Turner Gill.
And there's another sad note today, and that is that Don Key, who as a junior started every single game for Oklahoma and had a chance to become the first in Sooner history to start every game for 4 years. A ruptured kidney. That kidney was removed. His football career at Oklahoma is over, and it is over for all time. That is a bit of sadness. Well, what do the coaches think about this 8 out of 9 wins by Switzer for Osborne? When we come back, you'll hear from Tom Osborne and Barry Switzer. Stand by, the Sooners and Cornhuskers in a moment. To have a fine football team, you've got to have a fine coach, and each of these schools has that fine coach. Tom Osborne of Nebraska, Barry Switzer of Oklahoma. Look at their records, almost identical, except when they play each other. Tom Osborne, he must feel he is snake bitten. He has lost 8 out of 9 to Switzer, but he doesn't want to look back. He wants to look ahead.
Well, I don't really believe that past records make that much difference. We try to view each football game as an independent event. Our team's played well. We have good momentum. And we think we can play very well today. And, of course, Oklahoma has a fine football team with a lot of great athletes, so it should be a great ball game.
Leading the series 8-1 the past 9 years does not actually give us confidence that we'll win this game in 1981. Each club does it on its own merits and own abilities. We feel that we have a good opportunity, if we hold on to football, to win this football game. But at the same time, it's going to be a great challenge to stop the great Nebraska offense.
It's an interesting sidelight to me, Jim. Had they split their games against each other, Barry Switzer's record would be 84 wins, 16 losses, and 2 ties. Tom Osborne's would be 87 wins, 16 losses, and 2 ties. So this game has had its marked effect.
Let's get out of the psychology department for just a moment and talk football. What does Nebraska have to do to beat Oklahoma aside from all of this emotion?
Well, they're going against number 2 rushing team in the country, so they've got to have a great afternoon defensively. If Oklahoma can be fortunate enough to hit some passes, that would help them more than anything else, in addition to avoiding the turnovers.
All right, Oklahoma and Nebraska, the Big 8 Conference Championship is not at stake. Nebraska has that. A bowl game is not at stake. They both have those. We'll come back with the opening kickoff in just a moment. Turn him around and tell us that Oklahoma has won the toss of the coin and will receive. A week ago, you and I, Bud, were in Columbia, Missouri, when Oklahoma turned the ball over 8 times. Since they are receiving, it will be Darrell Shepard, the quarterback, the good fullback, Stanley Wilson, Buster Rhymes, the sophomore, Alvin Ross starting as a freshman today because Kent Winters is out, and Bobby Grayson, the split end. Your offensive line for the Oklahoma Sooners. And they're going to have a tough time today with that Nebraska defense. It'll be Jeff Williams, the tight end. Ed Culver, the tackle. The All-American Terry Crouch at guard. Bill Bechtel, a senior, playing his last game, as is Terry Crouch here in Norman. At right guard, Steve Williams. That is because of the ruptured kidney and the operations of Don Key, who had started there for the last almost 3 complete years. And the biggest man on the team, Lyndall Byford, the other tackle. For Nebraska defensively, the Williams brothers from Washington, D.C. are the left end and left tackle. Jeff Merrill is the nose guard. Henry Waxter, the tackle on the right side. And Tony Felici, who won his way to the starting lineup in the game against Florida State, is at the end. The linebackers, Steve Damkroger and Brent Evans. Your quarterbacks are Rick Lindquist and Rodney Lewis. Your monster man, Sammy Sims. And your safety man, leading the club with 4 interceptions, is Jeff Krejci. Oh, we've got the offense and defense. The Nebraska team is on. Tom Osborne, remember, has only won 1 in 9 tries against Barry Switzer and Oklahoma. And Barry Switzer, well, he is concerned, and why shouldn't he be? He had lost only 9 games in 8 years before this season. He has already lost 3 this year and tied 1. And he is the underdog today. The Nebraska Cornhuskers, who are going to the Orange Bowl. Oklahoma will announce that they're going to the Sun Bowl. 34, 24, and 3, and Bud had a lot to do with some of that record.
Nebraska, Jim, took the wind after losing the toss. Oklahoma electing to receive. The wind is not a strong factor, but it is from the right of your screen to your left. Should help the kicking game, will not affect the passing.
Kevin Seifel will kick it off. Buster Rhymes was on your left there, and Alvin Ross on the right. Well, this is the big game of the Big 8. And if you're from Oklahoma, Nebraska, they say the biggest game of the year, no matter where you happen to be. This is Buster Rhymes, the sophomore from Miami, Florida, backing up to the 2, drop the football. Back to the 10, finds a hole, gets out to the 20-yard line. Tripped up by Bill Weber, defensive end on the way out. Well, you've got the offense. Shepard, Rhymes, Wilson, and Ross in the backfield with the tight end, Jeff Williams, who's had 1 catch all year long. That's how few times they throw the football. Darrell Shepard is the only Sooner running back in history to have 4 complete, successive 100-yard or more games. And that includes Billy Sims. He didn't do it. Ross was in motion. First man through is Stanley Wilson. Finds himself in the middle of a big hole, and down he goes after a 21-yard pickup. Stanley Wilson. Jeff Krejci, the safety, made a saving tackle at the 41. Stanley found himself all alone and lonely.
Wilson is averaging 6.3 yards a try. I believe he's the best running back on the Oklahoma team, maybe one of the best running backs in the country. He has fumbled the ball some, but it's usually due to the second effort, and the second effort paid off that time as he picked up 20 yards.
And let's credit the tackle to Rodney Lewis, number 5, not Jeff Krejci. First down. That's Darrell Shepard with the football. He's had a lot of running room and has a lot more here, and Oklahoma is rolling. 2 plays, 2 stops, 2 first downs. They moved into Nebraska territory at the 41. Rick Lindquist makes the tackle.
The second option off the wishbone. There's the fake to Wilson inside. See the blocking of the Oklahoma halfbacks. Shepard turns up the field as they protect for the pitch, cuts it back to the inside, and Oklahoma has another 20-yard gain.
Bobby Grayson, leading receiver with 9 catches wide to the left. They bring in the plays with the wide receivers. And there's Alvin Ross, and Ross has plenty of running room, and the freshman picks up another first down. 3 snaps to the football, 3 big plays, 3 first downs. Oklahoma. And where is that Nebraska defense?
Change of pace that time. This is simply the straight-ahead power drive. You can see the backs leading Ross as he breaks through. Beautiful blocking by the line, beautiful blocking by the backs, and the change of pace from the option offense to the power offense.
Krejci and Sims make the tackle. A lineman hasn't made a tackle yet. It's been the backs. Done a little motion here again. Stanley Wilson lost the football, I do believe. Did that ball pop out of there,
yes,
or am I looking for one to pop out?
No, it did pop, Jim, but it bounced right back to him.
Now that's the first snap. They picked up 7 yards on the play, 6 yards on the play, but that's the first time they haven't gotten at least a first down on the snap of the football. Ball is on the 23-yard line. Only a minute and a half have gone by, and Oklahoma, the underdog, is exciting their fans. And there's Alvin Ross again, and this time they shut him down at the 20. And it'll be 3rd down and short yardage. Nebraska's defense, even though it's going to the Orange Bowl, do not have a game after this until the Orange Bowl, most likely against Clemson as we speak to you at the moment. Finally got a little tough there. Henry Waxter, the senior, out of Epworth, Iowa, shut him down.
Nebraska, the #3 team in the country in total defense, but thus far the #2 rushing team in the country has moved with comparative ease.
3rd down and a yard to go. The ball, the nose of it, on the 20-yard line of Nebraska. Darrell Shepard pitches the ball out. Look out! There goes Buster Rhymes. Touchdown, easy. An 80-yard march in 2 minutes and 39 seconds.
The 3rd option. Wilson has made some great gains, and there's the first fake to Wilson. Shepard has made some great gains, and there was the pitch, and Rhymes is out around the corner, cuts back. Everybody is knocked out of the play, and he's in the end zone untouched.
Michael Keeling to add the extra point. It is good. A year ago, Jarvis Redwine reeled off a long gain against Oklahoma, but Nebraska lost. Well, Oklahoma was the first to score this year. Let's see what happens. And plays Oklahoma. They're still excited as Keeling will kick it off. And here's a replay showing the linebackers on this play, bud.
Dan Kroger nearest to you, #35. Evans, #48. They're picked off by the linemen. They simply can't move fast enough to get to the outside when the ball was pitched wide to Rhymes.
And the thing at the end there are Nebraska men looking around for somebody to block.
They're not used to
Oklahoma men looking around for someone to block.
Nebraska's not used to having the ball moved against them that way. 6 plays, they went 80 yards.
2 minutes and 15 seconds it took, and the last was a 20-yard run by Rhymes. And now Keeling is ready to kick it off, and it is Rozier, who has cut a lot of speed of his own, #30, and Steele's #33 for Nebraska. And now we'll see the high-powered Cornhuskers go to work, or try to. But Oklahoma playing at home, they've had the whammy on Nebraska these last 9 years. They'd like to continue it. Short. This is Steele's at the 2-yard line to the 10. Whoa, he's hit as he gets away and out to the 15 and hit again. Tom Osborne and company now have to go to work.
This is beautiful coverage by the Oklahoma team. Great hit by Walker. Sims able to break off that one, but then the rest of the team is there, and they're backed up deep in their own territory on the 14-yard line.
Now are the quarterback, #17, Rozier, and Bates, the running back, Steeles and Brown, the wide receivers. Brown is wide to the left. Now Rozier, and down he goes after a 2-yard gain out to the 16-yard line, and that is about all. Into the side of the line, led by Rick Bryan.
Maurer likes to check signals. He did check on the last play, changing the call. Oklahoma jumping their defense after he has finished checking his signal.
Well, we still have nearly the entire football game to go, but I'm wondering if those Oklahoma fans think there's no way they can beat us. All right. Nebraska, Big 8 champions, and they've been rocked here the early going. Rozier looking for a way to get away and get some yardage, but it's still going to be 3rd down and about 6 across the way.
Oklahoma is taking the gamble that Nebraska's not going to put the ball in play early as we take a look at Jackie Shipp, #49, who's developing into a truly great linebacker. He's had 142 tackles thus far this year.
And I think you can see Rick Bryan, #80, the man who was on him, and that's the man that Barry Switzer says is the best, could be the best ever to play at Oklahoma defensively. That's the big mouthful. 3rd down and 6 yards to go. On the 18, Maurer throws out. Has his man out there. Rozier down the sidelines. Look out there. He goes. He's got speed and is knocked out of bounds at midfield. A fine saving play by Gary Lowell. Rozier has Nebraska back in business.
And the screen pass, it was 3rd down and medium to long yardage. Maurer sets it up very well, but what a great job of carrying the ball by Rozier. That little fake inside, let his blockers work for him. He took it down the sidelines. He's got marvelous speed. It appeared that he might be able to break it all the way, but he was picked off by Lowell.
Not quite in Oklahoma territory. 11:17 to go first quarter, 7-0 Oklahoma, and here come the Cornhuskers. Almost at midfield. Again, it is their tailback, and For about 3 yards goes Rozier, a sophomore out of Camden, New Jersey. You know, we keep talking about the fact that the Oklahoma backs are averaging 6 yards or better. Well, Rozier is 6.6. The man that he took the job away from, Roger Craig, is averaging 6.2 yards. Bates, the fullback, nearly 6 yards. Wilkening, the other fullback, 6.5. And you can see that both teams rush at a record pace. Second down, 7 to go on the 48 of Oklahoma. And here's a little delay to Rozier trying to get outside. Gets to the 45. Inside the 40-yard line. First down, Nebraska. And this time, holding on for dear life was Johnny Lewis, the nose guard, number 95.
There are a lot of great running backs in the country, and a lot of them on the field today. But Rozier is, to me, one of the great ones. I talked about Wilson a moment ago. He's averaging 6.6 yards a carry. He's strong enough to break the tackle, fast enough to outrun the pursuit.
Fryer wide to the right. Brown to the left. And there's Rozier again, and this time he's stacked up. Nowhere to go, a couple of yards, down to about the 38-yard line. And the whole left side of the line there, led by Bryan, number 80, in on the tackle. Well, when we started this telecast, Bud, there's absolutely no noise at all in Owen Field. Things have changed.
And he'll stay changed, I'm sure. Nebraska's had a little better luck with their misdirection plays and the screens. When they run right after Oklahoma, the Sooners, thus far at least, have been in good defensive position.
This time it is Brown to the left and Steele's back in for Fryer to the right. Second down and 8 to go. And Roger Craig is now your eye back. And Nauer pitches out to Craig, and Craig's got some running room, and he's got speed. Gets away. First down inside the 30-yard line. White Crane, the safety man, number 33, made the tackle. On the way into the stadium, Bud and I getting ready. I said we better take lots of paper today because there'll be lots of things to write about and lots of scores.
A great 1-2 punch at tailback with Craig and Rozier. Rozier resting for a moment. You put Craig in, you lose nothing. He almost broke that last tackle. It was Drain that came up to make it. Another first down, however, for Nebraska.
All on the 27-yard line of Oklahoma. The Sooners lead 7-0 early first quarter. Everybody's running. Give it to the up back, Bill Bates. Nobody's thrown a pass yet.
The one screen that
I'd take
Jim.
that back.
But that's really not a pass downfield, so I think you're right.
A man is down. It is an Oklahoma man down on the field, and I'm trying to read the number along with you. Oklahoma has already had more injuries than they care to talk about. They've lost Johnny Blake, their nose guard. Weddington, defensive end, is out. Don Key, we told you about, had the kidney operation. Chet Winters is out, and now, if that is Flanagan, 53, if it is, I'm not saying it is, it could be Ferrer, 55. He is the only backup they've got at either defensive end that they've listed. In any event, they're going to get up, and it looks like it's Ferrer. So it's Whaley, 57.
You're right.
Whaley, 57. Second down and 7 to go. 9:12 to go in the first quarter. More than 74,000 people here, and while some of our nation has been racked with cold weather and snow, most noticeably around the Great Lakes, here in Oklahoma, temperature in the 60s. And this is a Saturday afternoon in late November. Last year was in Lincoln. We did that one, and the heroics there by Buster Rhymes to set up the winning score. And it was Rhymes who scored the only touchdown in this game. Time is still out on the field. A reminder about the Davis. Second down, 7 from the 23-yard line of Oklahoma. Two wide receivers, both to the right. And now Apparently he's going to throw. Now he's going to have to run, and he better get the ball away, and throws it, aiming toward Craig. That's legitimate because Roger Craig was in the vicinity, and he threw it at his feet. Orlando Flanagan was the man who was pressuring Mark Nauer. Now it is a third down and long situation.
Did a good job of getting rid of the ball. It was a fake screen pass. Oklahoma man-to-man pass defense had everybody covered downfield. They had nothing to do but throw the ball away.
Irving Fryer wide right, Todd Brown to the left. Third down, 7 to go. They give it to the tailback. Craig, he runs right into one man, bounces off him, and gets down near the 20-yard line. Fine effort by Craig, but it is fourth down. Eddie Neal is coming onto the field. He is the field goal kicker. He's hit on 5 out of 6.
You watch Bryan, a great sophomore tackle of Oklahoma. He's ridden out of the play very well by Craig. It's a delayed play, a counter. He fights back and is in on the tackle. Great second effort, good reaction.
Nebraska this year, Neal, as we said, is 5 for 6. They started out with Kevin Seibel. He was only 3 for 10. And Neal now will try one from 38 yards away to try to get Nebraska on the board and come out with something. Now in a hole from 38 yards away. He's got plenty of foot, but is it straight enough? It is. And Nebraska is on the board. 8:19 to go, and haven't we had action? First quarter, and it's Oklahoma 7 and Nebraska 3. Odds are going up, but the balloon has not gone up yet. We don't know who's going to win this ball game, and you'll see a sea of red. Both clubs, as you know, are big red. It all depends whether you're saying that in Lincoln or in Norman. It'll be Eddie Neal to kick off this time, or is that Kevin Seibel? It looks like Kevin Seibel out there. Nobody does the kicking off. It is number 49. And the deep men again are Buster Rhymes on your left and Alvin Ross on your right. Numbers 4 and 34. I was saying to Bud a while ago, and of course he spent so many years out here, sitting as high and far away from the field as we are, we can see out over the other side of the field. And you really know you're in the great prairie state of Oklahoma, where the corner's as high as an elephant's eye, and the wind comes, what, screaming down the plain? Sweeping down
across the plain.
Across the plain.
Waving wheat. Sure smells sweet.
Here's Seibel. Good kick. Ross watches it go into the end zone, and will watch it go out of the end zone. And Oklahoma, which moved amazingly easily, going from the 20 down inside the 30 in 3 plays and 3 successive first downs. The first time they got their hands on the football, they dropped it once, but it bounced right back to them. Here comes Darrell Shepard, the senior, playing his last home game out of Odessa, Texas. It only took Oklahoma 2 minutes and 15 seconds. It's taken Nebraska 4:16 for the 3 points, but they'll take them. 38-yard field goal by Eddie Neal. Whoops, there's a mix-up in the backfield, and there's Rhymes trying to get loose, and he's in trouble. Darrell Shepard and Buster Rhymes absolutely collided in the backfield.
Little misdirection play.
I thought they did have misdirection in their offense.
Well, they do, but you see him pivoting. The step back and the counter move by Rhymes, but he came in a little too quick, close to Shepard. Should have hit a little further to the inside, bumped into him. Poor play.
Sammy Sims made the tackle, and the officials have blown the whistle for just a moment. I think the kicking tee was still on the field. Now Oklahoma's ready. Couldn't have, in fact, they just decided not to pick it up, or did not pick it up after Seibel kicked off.
Manager's fault.
Shepard ends the ball off, and that is Stanley Wilson. Getting a couple of yards, but it'll be 3rd down and nearly 7 to go.
Wilson is so quick off the ball. That's why he makes him such a great threat off the wishbone. Look at the start that he has, and then the strength that he has. He hits hard. It takes 2 or 3 men really to be sure that you're going to get him down. He's 6 feet, 196, very compact.
Brent Evans made the stop. This is the first time Oklahoma's been in this situation, Bud. 3rd and long, 3rd and 7. That is Wilson in motion. That is Shepard carrying the football. They've got him tackled. He gets away for the first down. They absolutely had a man on Shepard and a man on Wilson. The way to play, in my opinion, Bud, that triple option, a man on man, and Shepard just stepped right around one of them.
But when you've got a great ball carrier, you run by somebody. And
That's
this
right.
is exactly what Shepard does here. A little reverse pivot, which is a change of pace. And there's the missed tackle as he cuts inside. That's Stam Kroger, who's a very good football player, going against another great runner in Shepard. Take another look at it. And here comes Stam Kroger up, missing the tackle. Shepard moves downfield for a first down.
All on the 34-yard line, and the ball is handed off to Wilson, and Wilson gets across the 35 to the 37. 7-3 the score, Oklahoma. We're just in the first quarter, 6:42 to go. Kurt Heinlein, a senior out of Bellevue, Washington, made the tackle. Nebraska team on its feet, Oklahoma team, most of them on their feet. This is the big game. Nebraska going to the Orange Bowl, Oklahoma going to the Sun Bowl, and the guessing is they'll play Houston down there. 2nd down. And there's Shepard hanging off. to Wilson, and Wilson just keeps going straight ahead. Out across the 45. First down. Jeff Krejci again makes a saving tackle of an outstanding fullback in Stanley Wilson. Does not have fullback size, but boy, can he play that position in this offense.
You can see the splits in the Oklahoma line, which make it difficult for the lineman to close down, and that's the first fake of the triple option. And Wilson is a great runner. He finds daylight. He moves with power and authority.
After Nebraska moved inside the 30-yard line, Oklahoma was able to stop and hold him to a field goal. But other than that, there's been no stopping of anybody. Look out, Ross, the freshman out of Aurora, Illinois, gets across midfield and into Nebraska territory. They'll spot the ball just on the 47-yard line. The monster man Sammy Sims out of Lubbock, Texas, makes yet another stop. He and Krejci have been doing most of the work today. Dan Kroger and Evans haven't gotten a call except for Dan Kroger's missed tackle.
The Oklahoma linemen are just doing a marvelous job coming off the ball.
Second down, 4. And there is Wilson again, close to a first down inside the 45-yard line. Getting up is Brent Evans, the junior, who's the second leading tackler on the team.
The two linebackers for Nebraska, Dan Kroger and Evans, moving with the pattern, trying to fill their holes, and that time they did a little bit better job than on some of the other plays. That was the power lead drive by Oklahoma.
Well, do you think with all these backs averaging better than 6 yards a carry, and the way Oklahoma's been running the ball, the way their team has been coming off the ball, that Nebraska can stop them on 3rd down and 1? We'll see in a moment. 3rd down 1. Alvin Ross is stopped, but he may have the first down. Again, we go back to the spotting of the football, but from our angle in this distance, it looks as though Ross, the freshman, picks up the first down. But you never know when the men step in to put that ball down. It is first down, Oklahoma. Dan Kroger made the stop.
Nebraska defense is playing a little bit better than they did on the first drive, and I think they'll get used to the timing as the game goes along and become a little bit more effective.
Nebraska this year has lost 2 to Iowa, 10-7, and the game Bud and I did, Penn State, 30-24. Oklahoma's lost to Southern Cal, Texas, Missouri, and tied Iowa State. Bobby Grayson, wide right. On first down 10. Ball on the 43-yard line, and there's Shepard again. Krejci makes the stop, but again you see Shepard reaching forward to put the ball down, and he has to carry the ball the way he does for this option, but he's reaching forward then, could have lost it.
And everything looks alike. Wilson coming over the ball and then making a marvelous block. Shepard keeping it instead of pitching it, moving downfield before Krejci made the tackle. So we have a timeout for Oklahoma.
Man is down and being helped off the field, and it's Darrell Shepard. And that looks like his left leg, doesn't it?
It'll be a very difficult injury loss for Oklahoma because Phelps is troubled with an injury also, who's the backup quarterback.
Well, let us hope that Darrell Shepard is all right, and Barry Switzer must be saying, what now? But he's got to look ahead, whether it's Shepard or Kelly Phelps. We don't know. We'll come back where the first quarter, 4:03 to go. Sooners 7, Huskers 3. Jim Simpson, Bud Wilkinson, Kelly Phelps is on the field as a quarterback for Oklahoma. He is number 7. Fred Sims is number 23. He is a freshman out of Tucson, Arizona. He is a running back, and Weldon Ledbetter, number 43, is in at fullback. And we'll check on that because Stanley Wilson may be popping right back into the lineup right now. And that's what has happened. Wilson checks back in. Sims has gone out. Steve Garvey, and big holiday show for lost the football, bouncing down, belongs to Nebraska. First snap to Kelly Phelps. The ball was kicked downfield, and it belongs to Nebraska. First time like Rodney Lewis, the right quarterback, got it, Bud.
They turned it 8 times last week. No one really has stopped Oklahoma. It's them stopping themselves with the fumble and occasionally an intercepted pass, but this was just a bad exchange from the center to the quarterback. You get a new quarterback, and he's not used to the center snap as we take a look at it here. Bechtold snapping the ball, and you can see that he didn't ever get it. The ball is kind of hit by a lineman, bounced downfield. Nebraska recovers.
Cornhuskers have the ball on their own 26-yard line. Pitch back, and here comes that nifty eye back that they've got. As a matter of fact, they've got 2 of them. This is Mike Rozier And Roger Craig is the other one. And I guess along the Oklahoma sidelines to the Nebraska sidelines, offense talking to defense, defense talking to offense.
Oklahoma has averaged 3.5 turnovers per game thus far this season, and that's why they've had some trouble in some of the games they played.
Second down and 5 to go after the 5-yard run by Rozier. That is Todd Brown going to the other side of the field. 3:25 to go, first quarter. In motion is Pryor. Here's the tailback Rozier again, and not much at all. It'll be third down and 2 to 3 yards to go. A lot of folks getting up. Take your pick of the men who made the tackle. I'd say Johnny Lewis is responsible as anybody, along with Thomas Benson, the strong side linebacker. That's the score. We said less than 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Ball on the 33-yard line. They've got to get it to the 36. So it's third down 3 after the break and recovered fumble. And here comes Sauer. Gonna throw. He's got him. The ball is caught. It is a first down, and I believe the man down there is Todd Brown, and nope, it is Steele. They're behind the Nebraska bench, and we couldn't see him until they got up.
Well, you very rarely see the sprint out pass into the sidelines, but we watched the great blocking here by the Nebraska line. Remington doing a great job, the guards doing a great job. He had plenty of time to throw the ball, moving to the left, right on target into the narrow side of the field.
Irving Pryor goes wide right, and Todd Brown comes left. Roger Craig now the eye back. Rozier is out for the moment. Ball on the 44-yard line of Nebraska. That's Roger Craig looking for running room and gets up to the 45, and that is all. Second down and 9. And again, you can see Jackie Shipp, who had 25 tackles last week and leads the team in tackling by more than 40 tackles to his nearest competitor for that honor.
When he's a short side, weak side linebacker as he is, he has more freedom to move. It's very difficult to get a lineman out on him, but he's got great speed. He's 6'3", 218, fine athlete.
Brown wide to the right. Second down, 9 to go. The up man, the fullback, he's got running room. I think has got a first down at the 46-yard line of Oklahoma. That's where they'll spot it. Jackie Shipp came back to make yet another tackle.
Little change of pace. They have been giving the ball to the tailback as we watch Benson and Shipp moving in, but the blocking is excellent on his play. Bates broke the trap absolutely clean into the secondary, and it's first down Nebraska.
All on the 46-yard line. This drive started when Lewis recovered a fumble on the first snap from Senator Phelps, the Oklahoma quarterback. Pitch back, coming around the other way, and fools nobody, has gone through it, playing his position well, makes the tackle for about a 7-yard loss. Truitt came across from his end position, just stood there, and Steele ran right into it.
Always you need to have someone keeping the leverage from the outside. This is the pitch back on the reverse. It was really set up reasonably well, except for Truitt, who was in position to make the play.
Pryor. Second down, 14 to go. Now let's see if Maurer goes to the air again. Remember, Turner Gill is not playing. He's the man taking back to go. Now has a man all by himself. Across the 45-yard line goes Roger Craig, the eye back, down to the 41. It'll be third down and 5 to go.
Again, great pass protection, and thus far Maurer is doing a good job of throwing the football. Take a look at it as though the play is coming right at you. Maurer sets up. You can see the clean protection and the pass to Craig coming out of the backfield. Craig avoids the first tackler, and then he's swarmed under.
Third down 5. Brown left, Pryor right. Craig has got the first down to the 35-yard line and took quite a hit down there by Dwight Drain, the sophomore, number 33.
Fine execution of the option play by Maurer. The reverse pivot, the little delay to make the defense make some kind of a move. He pitches the ball off to Craig, who gets turned upfield and then is hit very, very solidly by the Oklahoma safety man.
35 seconds to go in the first quarter. They put both wide receivers to the right. That means Todd is on the far side and Pryor flanked inside him. First down, the eye back Roger Craig, and picked up at the line of Thomas Benson, number 38, getting up. Got his arm out. And we may have our first flag of the ball game with 19 seconds to go. And the penalty will go against Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's done a very good job against the straight-ahead running of Nebraska, which has been effective all year, but the misdirection in the passing thus far has been effective.
John McClintock knocking it off, and you can see it is a big one. Inside the 20-yard line, first down Nebraska. Dead ball foul, personal foul. 7-3 Oklahoma, 19 seconds to go, first quarter. But first down at the 19 for Nebraska. Brown to the right. That is Fryer in motion to the right. And that is Craig with the football. Great speed, gets outside. Look out! He's got the touchdown! Nebraska moves in front with a 19-yard run after the second Oklahoma mistake. The first was a fumble. The second was a personal foul.
Beautiful job of ball carrying by Craig. You can see the man in motion and the Sooner secondary moving with him. That delays the support a little bit. Bates moves out in front to make a great block. And then the beautiful running of Craig really is what makes the play. Oklahoma had shut off everything inside. He just popped it to the outside, saw the end zone, turned up the wheel, powered his way in.
Evan Seifel in to add the extra point, and does so. It is 10-3 Nebraska. And when I saw that run, of Roger Craig, and I know Rozier is good, but I want to tell you, when I see Craig run like that, I wonder how in the world anybody can move him out of that tailback spot.
Well, Rozier is just about as good, but look at how he sees everything blocked up inside, turns it to the outside, turns on the speed. The Oklahoma defenders don't have the same kind of speed. He outruns them, he senses the goal line, and powers his way in.
2 seconds to go in the first quarter, and a reminder to you that Oklahoma is going to the Sun Bowl, Nebraska to the Orange Bowl, but that Oklahoma's not only turn the ball over, they score as much as ever, they run the ball as much as ever. However, the Oklahoma defense is not what it has been in other years. I said 10-3, the score is 10-7. I beg your pardon. That's a big difference.
Yes.
It is Ross and Rhymes, and what got me caught up in this thing. There's Rhymes on your left and Ross on your right. And you know Oklahoma's going to move the football, because if the Sooners do not, it'll be the first time they have not, because after all, they are the #1 team in the nation. Took them 3 minutes and 56 seconds to get that touchdown run by Roger Craig after Lewis recovered the fumble on the snap on the 26-yard line. Now the question becomes, when Oklahoma gets the football, do we see Darrell Shepard again, or do we see Kelly Phelps? Buster Rhymes in the end zone will not bring it out. So we'll have at least a snap of the ball from the 20-yard line.
Neither team has had to kick the football yet. Both teams' offense dominating play. I think, Jim, that Tom Osborne, thus far at least, has got to be pleased with Maurer's performance. Maurer has hit on 3 of 4 passes for 52 yards. And
Darrell Shepard has come back into the ball game for Oklahoma, and that's what the big roar was in this 10-7 ball game. First snap, Wilson, and that's the end of the first quarter. Well, I tell you, I'm not ready to go home yet, but I've seen enough to last me a football game. Only 1 quarter's gone by. We've got 3 to go, of course. We'll come back to on-field Norman, Oklahoma. I won't call it a barn burner. I'll just say it's a great one. Nebraska 10, Oklahoma 7. Nebraska is on top as we begin the second quarter by the score of 10-7, thanks to the great run of Roger Craig.
Oklahoma does a reasonably good job defensively here. Craig gets some great blocking, but there's nothing inside. He simply uses his amazing speed to take it outside and then turn upfield into the end zone. This is a close-up of the same play as we watch this great athlete in action.
Oh, I want to tell you, when he turns it on, it is just something to see. He gets there, and then he sees something and starts out to his right, and when he starts out there, no one's going to catch him. And then he cuts back a little bit, I know Rozier's good and has taken over for him, but Roger Craig, in the games we had against Penn State and Florida State, had outstanding days in both of those games.
In the first quarter, Oklahoma, as they usually do, made 134 yards rushing and none passing, while Nebraska rushed for 71 and passed for 52, which is the balance that normally teams try to achieve.
Well, a team that may go to the Cotton Bowl, you'll know by the time you see this. Texas held Oklahoma to a total of 194 yards altogether, rushing and throwing the ball. Now to second down 8, first play, second quarter. Oklahoma to the 22-yard line. Ball is pitched back. Looking for running room is Ross, and he may have gotten a yard or two before Rodney Lewis and Jeff Krejci made the stop.
You take a look at the statistics that we just mentioned a moment ago. Oklahoma that time was an unbalanced line to the left of your screen. That gave them the very quick way of turning the corner with the option play to the narrow side of the field, but Nebraska was ready for it.
Third down and 6 from the 24-yard line. First down. Just keeps moving the football. Fine running quarterback. Steve Kroger is over there to make the stop. And that leg may be bothering him a little bit again, but he's not going to get out of there. Sammy Sims helped Kroger. They moved the sticks as they placed the ball between the 31 and 32-yard line. First down the Sooners.
A very strong runner. Most great option runners don't have a great deal of physical strength, but Shepard makes yardage on his own with his power and with his elusiveness.
Oh my, fine play, running play there. And that is Ross, number 34. This is one of the few football teams in the colleges today where you say you have a fullback and a left halfback and a right halfback. Most you've got eye backs, tailbacks, name them, but this is a left and a right and a fullback.
Oklahoma must feel that the left side of their offensive line can beat the right side of the Nebraska defensive line, because they've run the power and drive play in that spot, I think, 4 times already.
Second down, 7 to go. Shepard with the football and is dragged down, but it will be third down and short. And Shepard wants a flag thrown. He figures that Felici, I believe, hit him late after Krejci put him down, but no flag is thrown.
Good defensive play by Nebraska as we see Shepard limping just a little bit going back to the huddle. There's the fake to Wilson. That's supposed to freeze everybody inside, and he gets a good block. Nebraska strings it out the way you should. Shepard is hit very hard, goes down, and that looked to me like a very clean tackle, but number 46 Felici came over the top, and that might have been a little late hit.
Third down, well, Shepard got up saying, wait, where is it? Harold Shepard, 12 yards to carry last year, and not doing quite this year, but he's doing well. Don't worry about him. And Oklahoma's picked up a first down. Stanley Wilson carrying the ball. Shepard has carried the ball 5 times for 48 yards. First down at the 43-yard line. 10-7. Nebraska, 12:55 to go in the first half. Outstanding afternoon and an outstanding football game. Bobby Grayson wide to the right. You never know with these teams. Put it on a carpet, seldom throw it up for grabs. Shepard does not get away this time. Fine individual play. Reading it right. Toby Williams, the junior out of Washington, D.C., playing alongside of his brother, Jimmy Williams, who's a senior, and this is his last game of the
number 75 on the left side of your screen, Terry Crouch, moving hard to the outside and opening things up, but Shepard was with the ball to the outside. They had enough people coming from the secondary to stop him for the first loss, I believe, Oklahoma sustained in the game.
Second down and 15. The ball has been moved back to the 38-yard line. Lewis is wide to the right. Freshman wide receiver. Shepard back for his first pass. Puts out the screen. But Nebraska is there. And Wilson steps around them. Gets out across the 45 to the 48-yard line. Kroger ran him out of bounds. Nebraska was almost in perfect position, and Wilson simply raced around them.
I just don't believe you can be in better position. There's the fake, little counter play. He looks to the left, then dumps the screen off as the rush comes in, and there are 2 Nebraska men right there, and he jukes, and neither one of them touch him as he moves it down the sidelines. Almost made a first down on the play.
Jeff Merrill comes back in at nose guard or middle guard for Nebraska. Heinlein comes out on 3rd down and 3 from the 49. the first down, and Oklahoma continues to roll.
Every time he touches it, he's a threat. You don't know if he's going to get it or whether he's not going to get it. That time, Shepard let him have it. And look at that stiff arm. He is in the clear, but he stumbles and goes to the ground. Krejci did make the game-saving tackle.
70 yards and 9 carries for Stanley Wilson. Ball on the 32-yard line. 10-7 Nebraska, but here comes Oklahoma. Again, Wilson, nobody seems to know he's got it. He must get down so low that he goes underground and comes up in the secondary. You can see it from up here, but the job, as Bud has said, of the Oklahoma offensive line has made those holes that Wilson can just scoot through, and as he hit that line in a hurry.
Well, Oklahoma's been in an unbalanced line about a third of the time, which makes Nebraska move their defense, gets them a little bit of an unfamiliar position.
Bob Osborne wanting to win this. It'll only be his second in 10 tries against Switzerland, Oklahoma. Second down, a yard to go. After all, his team are also the Big 8 champions this year. And there's Shepard, first down, inside the 20-yard line to the 17-yard line. Hanging on is Henry Waxter.
Devastating running attack.
It's the old business that we said against Missouri last week, Bud, and a lot of people have said this year, the only people who have been able to stop Oklahoma this year is Oklahoma by dropping the football. Southern Cal can tell you that.
Anybody plays him can tell you that.
Well, I must go back to Texas, though. They held them to 200 yards total.
The best defensive team in the country, though.
First down, 17-yard line. Give it to Ross, the freshman, and he picks up about 5, maybe 6, down to the 11-yard line. And hanging on still, Jeff Merrill, the middle guard, number 74, a little slow to get up.
And this is the drive play, the lead play. No option here, just straight ahead power. Ross following the blocking of Wilson and also of Sewell, and moves it forward for 5 yards.
2nd and 5 on the 12-yard line. Inside the 10 to about the 9, and that is all. You can see the numbers yourself. Waxter getting up. Dan Kroger getting up. There's still some other people down at the bottom. Heinlein getting up.
Looks like they didn't make much of anything on the play, and they get unscrambled. Jimmy made 3 yards.
3rd down and 3. Oklahoma's looking for touchdown, not for the field goal to tie it up, but if they have to, Keeling is outstanding. 3rd and 3.
2 tight ends.
Shepard pitches back. They're playing it well, and they got him. Ball is loose, but not until Wilson hits the ground. Make that Ross. Alvin Ross. Ball at the 10-yard line. And Keeling is coming out. He punts with his shoe on and kicks off, and kicks field goes an extra punch with his shoe off.
Unusual play that time by Oklahoma. They moved Ross at fullback and then sent Ross in motion, had Wilson at halfback because of his running ability.
And that's why I thought it was Wilson carrying the ball, because Ross was at the fullback spot. This will be a 27-yard field goal attempt by Keeling. And I don't think so. I think it is wide to the right. Something happened there that had never really had a chance at all. So Nebraska has held, and that's got to give a little impetus and add a little to the poise of the Cornhuskers. 9:02 to go, first half, and Nebraska still leads by the slimmest of margins, 10-7. Well, we have the source for sports, and I'll tell you, the college football season has been fun. It is not over, but the college basketball season is opening up. We've got a couple of next week. Kansas at North Carolina. The Associated Press says North Carolina will be the #1 team in the nation. They went to the finals last year. I'll be in Charlotte next Saturday afternoon for that one, live here on ESPN. And then that night, Pittsburgh is at Alabama-Birmingham. Alabama who? Alabama-Birmingham has an outstanding coach in Gene Bartow and an outstanding basketball team. And before this season is over, you'll not be saying Alabama who. You will know. Both live on ESPN. Mike Rozier's your tailback. First down for Nebraska at the 20-yard line after they held. The up back gets up Doug Wilkening across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Wilkening, a sophomore out of Littleton, Colorado. In talking to some of the Nebraska officials, I said, who's starting at fullback today, Phil Bates or Doug Wilkening? They said Bates. I said, oh, he said, it's his turn. And apparently Tom Osborne alternates them. They're good. Gain of 6, second down 4 to 26. Fryer wide left. And Brown to the right. There's it. Back, that is Roger Craig showing speed again, and Craig has got the first down. Well, that is not a 1 there. That is a 3-0. And so Rozier goes out. Doesn't that look like 31 there instead of 21?
Counter play here. He starts a little bit to his left. The fullback goes that way. He comes back the other way. And Rozier has got the same kind of power that Roger Craig has and the same kind of speed. He fights his way forward for the first down.
First down at the 33, Bud. Now Craig is in. Rozier's going to get a little equipment from there. Steals in motion. And there's Roger. Boy, he has got speed, hasn't he? Look at him run. The quickness in getting to the line, and he picks up 7 or 8 yards out near the 40-yard line. Craig, a junior out of Davenport, Iowa, is having an outstanding game. Jackie Shipp, the weak side linebacker, made the stop.
This young man is 6'2", 216 pounds, and he runs like a sprinter. Look at him. Look inside, cut back inside, finds the daylight there, runs right past one man, powers his way forward for the extra yardage.
Ball on the 39-yard line, second down and 4. And here comes the tailback again. And look at him run. That is Craig, and he's out to the 50-yard line, putting on an exhibition today. Well, you can't say he is running better than most, but he is certainly at the top of the list of those who are running the football, and they're all running it well today in this ball game.
Wilson's running it marvelously well for Oklahoma. Craig is having a great afternoon. Watch him here as he moves with great balance and great power, just breaking the tackles, cutting it back inside, spinning forward, finally losing his balance.
First down, Nebraska at midfield. Maurer pitches back. There's Craig again, no place to go, but he breaks a tackle or two and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Look at it this way. If you're trying to look for momentum or emotion, Oklahoma was driving only to fumble the football on their own 26-yard line, and Nebraska started a drive that culminated in the run by Craig for a touchdown to put him ahead. Oklahoma got the ball again, drove down, did not make it on 3rd and short, had to go for the field goal. No chance for the field goal. Nebraska held, so the momentum should be on the side of Nebraska. But that's just something to fill up time between plays with. Rozier is back in. Maurer straight back, looking, throwing across. Caught! First down inside the 35-yard line, and that looks like Mitch Crank getting the start today over Jamie Williams. Crank makes his catch, and first down Nebraska.
Very fine fake here. This is the power drive fake they've been running all of the time. Rozier coming over the ball. Fine throw downfield to Crank, and it's another completed Nebraska pass. Maurer continues to have a fine day throwing the football.
All on the 34-yard line. Their starting quarterback is hurt. He'll be ready for the Orange Bowl. Turner Gill. Maurer is filling in. He started the season. Big sack, and here they come again. This is Steele this time and not going anywhere. That's the second time they tried it. Once with Fryer, once with Steele. Did not work either time. Steve Whaley played it beautifully from his end position. That's one of the oldest cliches in the world, Bud. If you want to know whether or not there's good coaching, when you see first on one side Truitt hold his ground and then on the other side Whaley hold his ground, you know that those ends are playing exactly the way they should.
You've got to have the inside people pursue, but whoever's got the outside leverage must maintain it.
Second down and 11. Straight ahead, big hole, look out. First down, Mike Rozier inside the 25. And now it is Nebraska that is beginning to peel off big chunks of yardage. Oklahoma scored first in the first 3 minutes and has not scored since.
This is beautiful blocking by the offensive line. If you look at Lather, Mandelko, Remington, great hold, great daylight, but also a marvelous job of carrying the football again.
Bates has come back in at fullback to join Mike Rozier. And here's Maurer carrying the football himself and gets to the 20-yard line. A pickup of perhaps 2.5 to 3. Let's call it second down and 8. Clock running, 5 minutes to go in the first half. More than 74,000 looking on. Barry Switzer had lost only 9 games in 9 years. And now he He has lost 3 games in this year and is trailing in this ball game. 10-7.
Concerned about the defense. Nebraska has scored on each of their first 2 possessions, and they're moving the ball awfully well here.
And Nebraska has called a timeout. The situation, 2nd down and 7. The ball at the 20-yard line. 4:45 to go in the first half. And Nebraska out in front of Oklahoma, 10-7. We're going to be in Mobile, Alabama for the Senior Bowl, the outstanding all-star game with the top seniors from around the country there. Bud and I will be there, and it will be live here on ESPN. We have a great many friends in the state of Alabama, and for the first time we can talk to them head-to-head, face-to-face, because we don't have to talk about Auburn or Alabama. We can talk about the seniors from all over the country. And so we'll make no enemies, Bud.
It'll be a great game.
It sure will be.
Great players, and all of the pro scouts watching the men who are eligible for the draft.
Brown wide to the left. On 2nd down and 8 to go from the 20-yard line. They're going to try it again with Fryer this time carrying the ball, and each time they've given it to a wingback, Steele or Fryer. They have not been able to pick up any yardage at all.
Very diversified offense, though, by Nebraska. Their change of pace, they've used a lot of misdirection. They've thrown the ball very well. Mauer's hit 405, and this is the option from the wingback, which is a play you don't see a great deal of.
That was something. Third down, 5 to go. There goes Bates. Touchdown. 3rd and 5 from the 16-yard line, and Phil Bates goes right up the middle for the touchdown.
Once again, marvelous blocking by Glather, Remington, Mandelko, Quatek. Truly do open it up, and we got an orange on the field. Watch Bates here as he follows the trapping block there by Mandelko, and it's just absolute daylight right through the secondary. He has power and speed enough to just break the plane of the goal line.
Eddie Seibel on to add the extra point. And Nebraska hasn't been in this kind of position in some time, although last year they did lead 10-0 before they lost that football game. Seibel adds the extra point, and the score is 17-7 Nebraska. Now Oklahoma must play error-free football and come back. Be the average fan, Bud, and say, how can a man on 3rd and 5 go up the middle and find all that daylight? You answer me as a coach.
The defense is thinking they're going to go wide or they're going to throw the ball. That means the linemen are going to charge very fast trying to get penetration, and they're open for the trap. As you saw, when you break a trap that clean, there's plenty of daylight.
And now Seibel to kick off. Funny thing about this fast Oklahoma team, the longest kickoff return has been just slightly over 30 yards. And you would see, as you're watching Bates carry the ball again, you would think that that would be a big weapon with men such as Buster Rhymes and Alvin Ross returning the ball. But such is not the case. Seibel will kick off. We can see the play, 80 yards. Nebraska begins to feel, or should begin to feel, not good about this, but better than what I think they felt when they kicked off and saw Oklahoma race to a score. Getting first downs on each of the first 3 plays and taking a 7-0 lead.
The defense kept their poise, though, very well.
Now the short kick. This is Buster Rhymes at the 9. Buster Rhymes trying to get outside, and again, Oklahoma. Now, of course, this time, there was a very short but very high kick, and the defense was able to get down under it. And Jimmy Williams was the first to hit him. They'll spot the ball inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. First down, Oklahoma. They've got a lot of time in this first half, 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Down by 10 points, as they were early in last year's game, before they won it.
Last year, some people felt Nebraska was a little bit close to the vest with their offense. They certainly opened it up beautifully in the first half today.
They've had a wing back around twice, and on the 3rd time, he pitched out. I want to tell you, Stanley Wilson, I talk about Roger Craig when Nebraska's got the ball. Well, Oklahoma's got the ball. Now I got to talk about Stanley Wilson. What an outstanding running back. He picks up almost enough for the first down across the 25 to the 26. Steve McWhorter, weak side linebacker on that side, made the stop. And McWhorter's now replaced by Brent Evans. Second down and a yard to go. Shepard hits it back to Buster Rhymes. They played it well. Loss on the play. Brent Evans, who just came in from McWhorter, makes the play. Number 48.
Normally you're keying on the fullback when you're playing against the wishbone. That time they put Wilson in motion to the opposite side from where they're going to run the play, but Nebraska refused to take the bait. Played a very good defensive play.
Third down at about 3.5. Shepard, still with the football. They got him. Oklahoma will have to kick the ball away. We haven't seen any punting today, but we're going to see some punting. That is Jeff Krejci, the safety, who played it perfectly.
It was a fine defensive play by the entire team as we see Shepard making the fake to Wilson inside. Then Wilson moving out to make the block. He gets a piece of Evans. Shepard keeps the ball. Krejci comes up from his safety position to make the tackle for no gain.
Day is one deep man as Keeling comes in to kick the ball away. Tom Osborne has got to feel pretty good thus far. How about this whammy of a game that he seems to always be involved in? Keeling gets the ball away. No flags down. Ball is taken by Fryer at the 30-yard line. Fryer gets across the 40 to the 41. And with 2:37 to go, Nebraska's got the lead of 17-7 in this the first half, and also now has the football after forcing Oklahoma to kick from deep in its own territory. The net yardage on that punt, Bud, was 36 yards. Now, that's kind of strange and shows you it's kind of an off time for Keeling because Oklahoma's number 2 in the nation with a 42.5 net per kick average. That was only 36. As Fryer did a good job of getting the ball back. First down from the 41. That is the tailback. That is Craig. Flag goes down. Another flag goes down as Craig goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Taken out of bounds by Rick Bryan. A good defensive tackle. This will be the second penalty. The first penalty was devastating to Oklahoma. This one will be against Nebraska for holding.
It's the first error that Nebraska has made. They haven't fumbled, they haven't thrown an interception, and that's their first penalty.
Isn't that, Bud, kind of an indication that the team is coming in with a little bit of poise and not overcharged or too nervous?
They're the conference champions, and I think they're playing with the confidence that comes to you when you establish that kind of record.
There's a discussion going on. It is a big penalty against Nebraska. But they've not yet stepped it off. 2:07 left in this, the first half.
I think Oklahoma is deciding whether they do or don't want to take the penalty because the clock is a factor here, and they might want to save the play, although 10 yards is a lot of something you really rarely want to give up.
Difference between having the ball at the 48-yard line or way back inside the 35-yard line. Craig's carry took him to the 48. Would have been short yardage for the first down. First down and 17 to go as they mark it off from the spot of the foul. Nauer's going to throw. Looking, has his man Craig, and Craig is thrown out of bounds at the 30-yard line. That is a loss on the play.
They didn't really fool the Oklahoma secondary at all that time. That was Evans, the linebacker, who was on Craig man for man. And when the ball was thrown to him, he was right there to make the play.
Ball is back at the 30-yard line. Second down now, and 21 to go. 2 minutes and 1 second left in this the first half. 17-7 Nebraska. Nebraska's shown us a lot, including a second straight pass play. Nauer puts it way up top for Brown, and he may be there, but the ball is thrown out of bounds. And there are 2 flags down, and it may be that Brown was held up on his way downfield. We'll see, because it's way downfield that the flags were thrown.
Watch the fake of the running play. Maurer keeps the ball. Can't find a receiver. Then it's a long ball, and you can see the flags on the field there.
That was for bumping Brown, Bud, and that means it's going to be a first down for Nebraska. Put the ball down at the 46-yard line. That's what it is.
They've got him off the hook from the holding penalty.
1:54 to go. Well, as you said last year, people said Nebraska was playing conservatively after it took a 10-0 lead. Here, from deep in their own territory, they threw the ball twice in the closing minutes of the first half. And they're up by 10, 17-7. Wingback Fryer in motion. Tailback, back to Fryer. Fryer's going to throw. Has a man out there, but I think he overthrew him. That is Brown again. Now, I want to tell you, Tom Osborne has really opened this up. Wingback in motion. The ball was given to him, and he threw the ball.
Made a very good throw on the run, but it was just about 2 feet too long. There's the handoff of the reverse play. They ran an option off this last time. This time Brown throws the football, moving to his left. You can see the receiver is open on the play. That's Fryer that is open, but the ball is about a foot too long.
Excuse me, Fryer threw the ball, Bud, and Brown was the man it was intended for. Second down and 10. We have seen everything. Just everything. And here goes the eye back, and that's what they do best. I call him the eye back. Roger Craig. Craig is 6'2", as Bud has said, 216. Rozier is 5'11", 205. And Craig runs with power as well as speed.
This is really a tough football game as we look at Bryan, a great defensive tackle. He gets turned, but he stays in there, and they keep playing until that whistle blows, and a little bit longer than when the whistle blows.
1:15 left in the half. Ball on the 49-yard line of Oklahoma. Third down and 5 to go. And Maurer is going to throw for it and has got it across the way. And that is Fryer who makes the catch at the 41-yard line, out of bounds. They'll move the sticks, the stop clock with 1:07 left. And
once again, they just maintain possession of the football. Oklahoma stopped them and forced the field goal, but that's the only time Nebraska has not yet had to kick the ball.
And no one is going to say that Tom Osborne in this game is going conservative. First down. Bauer fakes to the eye back. Bauer throws, double coverage, and off the hand of the intended receiver, Todd Brown. When they go downfield for Todd Brown. The interference was on Todd Brown. Fryer tried to hit Todd Brown, and that was a pass to Todd Brown. And it's second down and 10.
You watch the Oklahoma linemen as they try to rush the passer, and you can see the pushing, which is a new rule in college football this year, that you can use your hands if you keep them within the framework of your body. But the Nebraska line is doing an excellent job of pass protection.
51 seconds left in the half. Second down 10 from the Oklahoma 41 for Nebraska. Again, Bauer to throw. Oh, it's going to be intercepted. That is Lowell with the football, making a good run, still on his feet, goes down, loses the football, belongs to Nebraska. Roger Craig, I believe, hopped on the football. He did. He's got it. And that'll be a first down, of course, because the ball belonged to Oklahoma before they fumbled it back to Nebraska. So they only picked up about 6 yards, but it's got to be a first down for Nebraska at the 35.
And Barry Switzer shaking his head there, wondering what happened. We see Maurer going back again. The fake of the tailback over. Ball is tapped, bunched into the air, high. Interception made by Lowell, who makes a very determined run. He knows the half's about to run out. He's not going to go down. He's going to try to score on the play. He gets twisted, turns, the ball pops loose. Nebraska, Craig, the tailback, makes the recovery. Let's take another look at the ball going high in the air. It's batted there. The interception, and then really determined ball carrying by Lowell, but a little more determined perhaps than it should have been. The clock will be dead if he goes down on the fact that they have made an interception, but he bounced the ball loose, and Nebraska has it first down.
First down at the 35. 38 seconds to go in the 17-7 ball game, first half. Brown comes wide to the right.
I believe Nebraska has one more timeout after this one, as Oklahoma substitutes are late getting on the field.
Nebraska now, after this turnover, has Rozier flanked to the right, and it's throwing out there, and the ball is caught. For the first time today, they had Rozier set in a flanker spot, and they threw to him on the down and out.
One man in the backfield. Roll out pass. Maurer could have run with the ball here. Oklahoma dropping back to play pass defense, but Rozier made a great catch, breaking it down and to the outside. Let's get a little bit closer look and see how he stretches for it. This man is a great receiver in addition to being a great ball carrier.
Ball is just inside the 15-yard line. Rozier again goes wide, this time to the left. They've got 3 wideouts. On first down, 32 seconds left. Across the middle, caught by the tight end. Down near the goal line is Mitch Crank, his second catch of the day. 24 seconds to go in the half, and first and goal to go, Nebraska. And already the Nebraska fans are being waved to by their players.
Steals in motion. The Oklahoma defense reacting with him. He passed to the tight end on a crossing pattern. Crank, he battles forward, almost gets it into the end zone. It's first down on about the 1-foot line.
And lots of time to go into the dressing room. 24-7 should they score. Here's where they don't want to turn it over. 24 seconds left. And Barry Switzer's concern about defense is very real. Nebraska beginning to move the football. There's no question that Oklahoma can move it. But I want to tell you, Nebraska's put out all the stops. And now they go back to Crank, who's starting the day. He's making his second catch as he has been starting over Jamie Williams. And he bowls his way down and wanted to put it in the end zone, but they say no.
I believe that that's Nebraska's last time out.
I think they got enough time, Bud.
Well,
from the
1 seconds. If you don't score in a running play, you got to get lined up. You get 2 running plays off, but you get a bunch of passes off, but you'd rather try to run it in from here.
Let's see how they do it. 17-7. This is at Oklahoma. Maurer is 8 of 11 for 106 yards, has been intercepted once. And he's the man that started the season and is starting this game because Turner Gill, the man who's led them through the rest of the season, is hurt. Craig is in. Maurer has the word of what to do. And we will watch with you as Nebraska tries to go in with a 17-point lead. And remember, Oklahoma scored in the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds and has not since. There's the I-back. Craig walking over a few bodies into the end zone, and on the first play, Nebraska makes it look easy. Two seconds to go. They're talking to the officials, and they're moving back.
They have been. Take a look at the play again. Nebraska was in an unbalanced line. They try to run a little trap play. There's not much daylight there, but Craig goes up and over the top. However, the play is coming back with a penalty. Take another look at it. Craig, not much daylight, but a lot of height, and we had a 5-yard penalty on the play.
Now they're telling us what it's for, Bud. There's a flag in the end zone. Everybody, as I said, the teams were going back on the field because there's a legal motion or procedure by the line, or perhaps by Craig.
That is a tremendous difference with 22 seconds left.
Oh, it sure is. They got so upset the scoreboard now shows it's 14-7 instead of 17-7. I think they put it ahead. Now the Oklahoma scorekeeper is going wild, as has most of the other people in Owen Field, and there are more than 75,000 of us. Now let's see what they do. 3 wideouts again, 22 seconds to go. Big break for Oklahoma. Maurer's going to look to throw. Maurer's got a man. There it is. Touchdown, and it's Frank again. That must be open all day long. That's his 3rd catch.
That's the same pattern that moved the ball down to the 1-yard line. One man in the backfield. Frank on a crossing pattern, and he's the backup tight end, as Jim mentioned a moment ago, but he's a fine football player. 6'3", 225 yards, and Maurer continues to do a great job of throwing the football.
Well, you have to know as you watch Frank catch this again, as Seibel is in, to add the extra point, that the Oklahoma defense is not having a good day. They had him stopped on a penalty after Craig took it in. Seibel adds the extra point. But Maurer, who was benched in favor of Turner Gill, has looked absolutely tremendous today, as has the Nebraska offense and defense. Now, Crank again is the man that's been open over the middle all day. That is his 3rd catch.
Beautiful protection. Right between the linebackers, open.
And so now, The scoreboard is correct. It is 24-7. And that was the little bustle you heard across the way because they were saying, I don't know what they were saying, but they're cheering as the scoreboard here at Oklahoma went from 17 by ones up to 24. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Oklahoma came out as though they were going to dominate the game, and it changed totally. On their second possession, they had moved downfield to approximately the Nebraska 35-yard line. Shepard was hurt out of the game, and Phelps fumbled the exchange from center. The ball was kind of bouncing around. Nebraska recovered it, and Oklahoma has not been the same offensive team since that time.
Well, on that recovery, as we told you before, that was on the 26-yard line of Nebraska, so Nebraska didn't get it at Oklahoma's end of the field. They had to drive 76 yards, and they had been driving, and the thing is, Oklahoma has not been able to stop them.
They have yet to not put points on the board when they've had a possession.
Seibel will kick off. Rhymes and Ross are standing around the 10-yard line. Remember last time his kick was very high and very short. This time he kicks it along the ground, and this may make it out of bounds, which means he'll have to kick it off again from the 35-yard line.
Thinking on that squib kick is that you break down the timing of the return play of the receiving team. You don't know when the ball is going to bounce. It usually is picked up by somebody short of the deep man, and you break down the pattern.
Well, somewhere in this stadium, I guess a floor or two below us, the people of the Orange Bowl are ecstatic at what they're seeing because Nebraska will be there New Year's night. And somewhere down there, I'm sure the Sun Bowl folks are still happy to have a team like Oklahoma, but they're a little shell-shocked because this was kind of a pick-and-ball game with Oklahoma, the very slightest of underdogs. And in the state of Oklahoma, they didn't believe it. And I tell you what I see. I see a lot of people leaving Owen Field, Norman, Oklahoma, leaving the ballpark with a 24-7 at the half.
I don't think the game's over.
I don't
Oklahoma
either.
is too good an offensive football team.
I simply say that in a state of shock. But there are hundreds of them out there walking away. Seibel kicks it high and short. Fair catch called for on the kickoff by Buster Rhymes. You will very seldom see that. It is legal, it happens, but you'll very seldom see a fair catch on a kickoff. Just add that to something else you've seen the first quarter in the first half.
I think, Jim, about the second time in all the years I've watched football or coached football that I've seen a fair catch called on a kickoff.
Well, I remember that at a professional game once, because after a fair catch you get a free kick. Someone fair caught and then kicked a field goal from about 50 yards. Here we go from the 17-yard line. Shepard puts it up deep. Nobody there but Nebraska people, and they collide. That is Lewis with the line on the ball, and Simmons just knocked him out of it. Simmons couldn't see it. They're both watching the ball, but it was Lewis that had the great shot.
Good protection that time. Not much of a rush by Nebraska because obviously they expect Oklahoma to throw the ball. They wanted the coverage downfield of preventing a long play. Shepard has got all day, throws a long ball, but throws it way beyond his receiver, and the two Nebraska men have a pretty good collision.
Closest man to it was Rhymes, so we'll say the intended receiver is Buster Rhymes. 10 seconds left in the half, 24-7. Cornhuskers ball on the 17-yard line. Little mix-up here between the wide receivers. Shepard, known for running, not throwing, puts this one hanging it high, and that one is almost picked off. Intended for Grayson. Matter of fact, Grayson was kind of like the defensive back there. I think Krejci had better position on the ball than Bobby Grayson.
I thought so too, and it's a normal reaction to say that I was interfered with, but once the ball is in the air, both men have equal right to it.
Krejci was right there ready to get it, and it was Krejci was bumped into by Grayson, the intended receiver. 3 seconds left. Shepard is 1 of 4 for 11 yards as compared to Maurer, who's 9 of 12 for Nebraska, and 112 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a screen pass that he threw, which wasn't a downfield throw.
Third down, but more importantly, this is 3 seconds left in the half. And they're going to run the football, hoping that Stanley Wilson can make some miracle happen. And Wilson, running well as always, picks up 10 or 12 yards. The first half is over. It has been an outstanding first half, and we'll repeat again, Bud, that Oklahoma started by getting the kickoff, and reeling off 3 first downs in the first 3 snaps of the ball, winding up with a touchdown. And Buster Rhymes carried it in on 22-yard run and made it look easy. And then the story turned.
Nebraska was able to move the ball downfield. When they got it, they kicked the field goal. Then Oklahoma moved it all the way downfield again before fumbling. And that fumble gave Nebraska confidence. Nebraska moved to a touchdown. And Nebraska all the rest of the way in the first half.
Well, Barry Switzer has got a ball club going in down by 17 points. He'd only lost 9 ball games before this year. He's in danger of losing his 4th this season and his 13th of his career. Isn't that something? But Oklahoma is very explosive. But the first half goes to Nebraska in a comeback. At the end of the half, Nebraska 24, Oklahoma 7. Sports Center's next. On field, Norman, Oklahoma. Hello again. I'm Jim Simpson, along with Bud Wilkinson, and Nebraska under Tom Osborne has beaten Oklahoma exactly once in 9 tries. Looks like they got a great shot at it today, but Oklahoma is very explosive. As a matter of fact, so explosive, Bud, that when the game started, I thought the Sooners were going to blow the favorite Nebraska Cornhuskers right out of here.
Well, they got the ball on their own 20-yard line. They moved 80 yards in 6 plays, and this is the touchdown. Shepard, a delayed pitch out to Rhymes, who has the corner turn behind some very fine blocking. He takes it into the end zone easily as he makes a slight cutback to avoid the last tackler, and he is in the end zone, and that's a 6-play, 80-yard drive for Oklahoma.
Craig led the comeback. And I say Craig led the comeback because he scored a couple of touchdowns, but the fact is that one of those was called back. That Mark Maurer, a man who was a starter at the beginning of the year, the quarterback, did an outstanding job. After a turnover, it was Nebraska to march for its first touchdown.
Maurer was 9 of 12, Jim, in the first half for 112 yards. A great performance, very cool, very positive play.
After a field goal, the first touchdown for Nebraska was Roger Craig, 19 yards, and look at the speed. You can tell about this. Look at the speed.
Well, there was nothing inside. He just has speed enough and vision enough to see it outside, and he turns the corner out, runs everybody, senses the end zone, moves in for the Nebraska's first touchdown.
Craig is a fellow that started out with a couple of outstanding games, lost his starting position to Rozier, but he's doing an outstanding job again today.
He's a big back, weighs 226 pounds, and he's got the speed of your normal fleet halfback.
Well, at this point, it was 10-7 Nebraska. They had moved back out in front. They had had an excellent chance to fold, but did not. As a matter of fact, along the way, Oklahoma missed a 27-yard field goal try that would have tied the game, and it wasn't even close. So then, Nebraska came marching back, and deep in Nebraska, or I should say Oklahoma territory, they had a 3rd down and 5 yards to go. And this is when the fullback of Nebraska, Phil Bates, a senior out of Omaha, had his big moment. Well, this is his last regular season game. He just blew it right up the middle, Bud.
Oklahoma was expecting some kind of a pass or wide play. Their lineman came across very fast. They were open for the trap. The trap worked perfectly, and Bates barreled it into the end zone.
And I told you that Roger Craig scored a couple of touchdowns. You've seen one that he did score, but the story is that another one was called back, and so from 6 yards out with 2 seconds to go, there is Mitch Krink starting today because Jamie Williams is hurt. Touchdown, and Bud, that has been open all day, and that was for a touchdown.
That little crossing pattern is very, very tough to cover, particularly if your passer has time to throw the ball. The linebackers find it very hard to pick him up.
Well, you know, the folks here in Oklahoma know that the Sooners are capable of coming back. They did against Kansas earlier this year, the #1 rushing team in the nation. Will they come back? Will they pull that old whammy again? We'll find out, and we'll have more to say about this game in just a moment, where Nebraska leads 24-7 at Norman, Oklahoma. That'll be Michael Keeling, of course. While deep for Nebraska, number 27, Irving Pryor, is on the far side, and number 33, Anthony Steeles, is on the near side. 24-7, and we're ready for the second half. This is for the bragging rights, and this is to break the whammy. You know that the team that has been to the Orange Bowl the most times is Oklahoma. The team's been in the Orange Bowl and won the most times is Oklahoma, and the team that's been in the last 4 years is Oklahoma, but not this year. Nebraska's going, and they'd like to go with a win over Oklahoma. Steeles watches the ball go out of the end zone, and Nebraska will take over 1st down and 10 at their own 20. Maurer is the quarterback. Either Rozier or Craig will be at I-back. Phil Bates the fullback, Steeles and Brown the split, and Krink the tight end.
And you can see the effectiveness of the Nebraska offense. They put points on the board each time except for the one interception, and that was just a one-play delay because the man who made the interception fumbled. Nebraska recovered. So they really have had 4 drives, 4 times they put points on the board.
Mike Rozier is the I-back. Bates is the fullback. And that is Bates the fullback, and Bates gets 5 yards after the 25. John Truitt, Rick Bryan, Johnny Lewis, Bob Slater, Steve Whaley, the front 5 for Oklahoma. Thomas Benson, Jackie Schiff, the linebackers, Darren Walker and Albert Watts, the corners, and Gary Lowell and Dwight Green are the safeties. Tice, Mandelko, Remington, Karlstrom, and Hurley for Nebraska up front offensively. Rozier doesn't know where to go. He's going as a wideout as he did toward the end of the first half. On 2nd down 5. That has confused the Oklahoma defense. Now Rozier's going to take it on an end around, and he's got some speed and picks up some yardage. And has the first down across the 30-yard line. Nebraska has tried nearly everything, and Rick Bryan gets up limping. He is the good tackle, the sophomore.
It's a very critical series for the Oklahoma defense. If Nebraska moves downfield, puts points on the board. As we take a look at Rick Bryan here, number 80, you can see him getting hit after he bounced the first man off. He was hit by Mandelko coming from the side and bruised that knee.
Bryan has amazing statistics. First down, I'll give you some in a moment, if this is not a big play for Nebraska. Howard back to his I-back, Rozier, and Rozier is tackled and hit in the backfield, and a fine play there by number 38, Thomas Benson, the strong side linebacker. Bryan had broken up 3 passes as a tackle, recovered 2 fumbles, had 9 tackles for losses before today, and was the leading tackler all along the forward wall. That's the kind of tackle he is. A loss of 4, 2nd down and 14 from the 28-yard line. Brown wide left, Pryor flank to the right. Pryor in motion. Now the quick pitch to Rozier. Rozier looks for running room and slips, trying to get by his man. Playing out there, looked like it was Albert Watts who came up to force the play, and Rozier tried to cut inside of Watts and slipped and fell down.
Looked as though he had not lost his footing, as though he would have run past him and made a big gain.
Keith Steinberry is in the secondary now. Gary Lowell is not. Steinberry filling in for Gary Lowell. For what reason, we don't know. Coaching or injury. Steinberry's a freshman. 3rd down, 11. Maurer under pressure throws, and the ball is up in the air and almost intercepted. Albert Watts was looking for an interception. The ball was thrown for steals, and Nebraska will have to kick the ball to Oklahoma.
It was a very important series for the Oklahoma defense. They needed to regain some confidence. Nebraska made 1 first down. They stopped them here, and on this play almost make the interception. They're throwing that crossing pattern again. The ball was a little bit underthrown. Very fine defensive play.
Grant Campbell to kick the ball away. Albert Watts averaging nearly 11 yards per punt return, and that is outstanding. He's had 152-yarders, the man deep. Campbell gets his first punt of the day away. It's very short. Their catch called for by Watts, who has it at the 44-yard line. Oklahoma's got first down, and Shepard will be their quarterback. Buster Rhymes and Ross your running backs. Wilson your fullback. Grayson will split time at the split end position with Flores.
The Oklahoma drives, you can see the first time 6 plays for a touchdown. Then they fumbled, and they missed a field goal. They were forced to punt once. They fumbled again, and then the time ran out.
25-yard punt by Grant Campbell gives Oklahoma outstanding field position. Shepard carries the ball and barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Barely gets back. And Jeff Krejci, who has had an outstanding defensive day today for Nebraska, make the stop. You know, with all the running of Craig, all the running of Wilson, the playing of Bauer, you tend to overlook at Jeff Krejci when it comes down to vote for a Vitalis athlete of the game. But Krejci's been outstanding today. It could have been a lot worse without him.
And he come his way, and he fills in that safety position. He does it with authority.
He made some saving tackles. Here is Shepard, all the time in the world to deliver the ball, and over overthrows his man. Grayson across the way. Shepard did not have a good passing day last week against Missouri. He's not had great days passing. His forte is running the ball. As we said, the only Sooner back in history, and he's limping now, to have 4 successive 100-yard games. That's a little hard for me to figure out, Bud, with a Billy Sims here, but this is the only back to have done it.
Well, now and again you play against somebody that says, I'm not going to let this fellow run with the ball, and when you do that, usually you can stop that man while other people are making a lot of yardage.
Well, Shepard has carried the ball once, has thrown the ball once, and finds himself faced with 3rd down 10. Very important for the Sooners to pick up a first down here. Shepard with all the time in the world again. Has a man wide open at the 40-yard line. And it is first down. Grayson was all by himself. Nobody within 5 or 6 yards. And Brent Evans finally came up and made the tackle.
Tough pass to cover. Sprint out to the right of the screen. You can see the blocks moving out ahead. Backs. Rhymes ready to make the tackle. Krejci coming up. It's just a hook pattern by Grayson downfield. He found that open spot wide open, and Shepard got the ball to him.
From a 39-yard line. Shepard has the ball to Stanley Lewis, and Lewis gets down for maybe 9 yards to the 31-yard line. Rick Lundquist came up to make the tackle. First time Wilson has carried the ball in this half.
He breaks it either inside or outside the tackle, which is what makes it so very, very tough. Normally, the wishbone fullback goes inside the tackle, but he's got so much speed, he can go outside.
Jeff Williams, a tight end. Grayson and Carter and Cluess have all been in at the split end spot. Looks like David Carter, the freshman out of Altus, Oklahoma, is there now. 2nd down at about 1.5 yards. As Wilson swings in motion, Shepard keeps the football. Shepard does not get the first down, I do not believe. I think he missed it by about 1 yard. It'll be 3rd and short. I don't know whether it's a Nebraska defense that has stopped Darrell, but Shepard, as each time he's tried to run the football, has barely made it to the corner, and someone has put him down.
Had one good run early, but they've done a very good job of taking that portion of the triple option away.
3rd down and 1 yard to go. Ball at the 30.5, almost on the 30-yard line of Oklahoma. The back dragged in there. Felici was hanging all over Alvin Ross, but I think Ross may have the first down. Tony Felici, 46, was hanging on to Ross. But it's first down, Oklahoma. Ball inside the 29-yard line. 24-7 to score Nebraska. 10:37 to go. 3rd quarter. Grayson comes wide to the left. Jeff Williams, a tight end on the right side. Ball is handed to Wilson. That quick spurt. Look out. There goes Stanley Wilson. Inside the 10. 1st and goal to go. And Felici makes the saving tackle.
Very, very tough to stop them all the time. We're isolated on Evans, the linebacker for Nebraska. He's got an absolutely open shot at Wilson, and Wilson just runs right through him, but Wilson is that strong a back.
How about that Felici, though, vaulting over Evans to make the tackle from behind. Wilson's now carried for 143 yards, and here come the Sooners on the 8-yard line. First down, goal to go.
Unbalanced line.
Shepard, wow, what a hit, dropped the football out of bounds. Took a hit across the way.
And that fumble caused him to lose some yardage. Again, they're running to the short side of the unbalanced line is to the left of your screen. There's no place to run. Shepard tries to turn it up the field. The ball pops loose, bounces backward, goes out of bounds. Dan Kroger making the tackle.
Ball on the 12-yard line, still 2nd and goal to go, and with that, Oklahoma calls a timeout. 9:48 left, 3rd quarter. Nebraska 24-7, but Oklahoma trying to get it a lot closer than that. Big decision time on 2nd down from the 12. Weekend, Saturday evening at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific time. We've got a holiday weekend live treat for you from Lake Tahoe, Nevada. Sal Marciano gets all those good trips out to Las Vegas and Lake Tahoe. It's boxing, Wilfred Scipion and James Ware. Scipion's ranked number 3 contender by Ring Magazine in the middleweight division. That's a 10-rounder. Later on, a 10-round light heavyweight fight, a 10-round featherweight fight. And helping with the commentary, Jerry Cooney, the number 1 contender for the heavyweight title. That holiday weekend, this coming weekend here on ESPN, live from Lake Tahoe. Ball on the 12, second down and 12. Tom Osborne went into the locker room knowing he had a 17-point lead, but knowing with Oklahoma nothing is safe. And here come the Sooners. Shepard to throw, hasn't had much luck. Throws the ball up short. Has his man Stanley Wilson, and down inside the 5. Brent Evans put him down. Third down and short yardage to go.
Very well executed misdirection screen. You see Shepard faking as his backs run the crossbuck pattern. Sets, he looks it off to the left, drops it off to the right to Wilson. Wilson gets a good block ahead of him. Nebraska makes a fine defensive play, however. It appeared that Wilson might take it into the end zone, but the secondary closed and stopped him short of the touchdown.
Well, that blow to the side of a ribs there, I think it was by Dan Kroger, has Wilson, I believe, down on the ground. We saw it, I think it was Dan Kroger, number 35, and he came roaring into him, and Dan Kroger is led off the field on this side. It looked like his head went right into the ribs of Stanley Wilson. And Dan Kroger is woozy, but Wilson is down. And he's gained over 150 yards already. And Switzer just figures what can happen next. Stanley Wilson, and watch as we show you the hit Dan Kroger gives him.
He runs into the entire defensive secondary and linebackers closing, and that was Dan Kroger coming in. Wilson turned just a little bit. The head caught him right on the ribs. That is really sore.
And Dan Kroger goes down like a shot himself, as though he hit a stone wall. Both men are up, and Wilson getting a rest. But it's third down and goal to go. Buster Rhymes walking over to the sideline. 143 yards, and that was before that carry. So he is over 150 now. Okay, third and goal to go from the 2. Oh, Porter, touchdown. Darrell Shepard steps around the man and goes into the end zone. And for him, that is yet another touchdown. He's averaging 9.2 points per game this year, and he's got some more. Watch Shepard.
The inside fake again to the fullback. Shepard keeps the ball. It's good blocking. They played too hard for the possible pitch, and Shepard is in the end zone.
Now, feeling to add the extra point. And that is perfect. And wow, what did we say? You can't count Oklahoma out. Don't. 9:28 to go, third quarter. It's 24-14 on the 2-yard run by Darrell Shepard. Darrell Shepard has taken the ball in, and what a nifty run it was. He's not peeled off the long ones in this half, but here he is. He'll be coming right toward you.
And the fake to the fullback.
Good one.
That picks off a couple of the pursuit men. And Shepard turns it upfield into the end zone.
And now from the rear, you see Shepard doing the same thing. He's got a man out in front of him blocking, and there he goes, going over Rodney Lewis into the end zone. And that makes it 24-14. 10 plays, 56 yards, and Oklahoma's back in business. And remember, it was Nebraska that got the ball first in this half, and after 3 downs had to kick it away. They've got to get themselves established again. Fryer and Steels are deep. There's the elapsed time, 3:12. Shepard taking it in. Stanley Wilson apparently is going to be all right by the time the Oklahoma Sooners get the ball next. And that's just an observation. That's not fact. You heard nothing from the bench.
Nebraska needs to move the football here if they're going to establish again their momentum.
They had it when they went to the locker room. At halftime, Steels 1 yard deep. He's lost the football. Picks it up and gets out across the 10. And that cost Nebraska about 7 yards. They're inside their own 15-yard line, and now Mark Mauer's got to get it going. Got to get it cranked up for the Cornhuskers.
I think the sun field bothered him a little bit. The sun was low at this time of year. It's a north-south field. Kind of lost the handle on the ball, bounces it around. However, he did get it back in his hands, avoided one tackler, but then ran into all of the Oklahoma defenders, and it's very poor field position on the 12.
Well, Oklahoma passed its first test on defense in this half. Let's see if they can pass their second. Craig is the eye back. Mauer with a long count, hands the ball to Craig. There he goes again, picking up 9 or 10 yards. Craig Berry and Walker in on the tackle, standing around with a bunch of other folks, including Rick Bryan, who is back in the ball game. That good defensive tackle on the left side. Second down on 1.5 yards to go. Fryer left, Brown right. Nebraska by 10, third quarter. And straight up goes Bates, who has scored a touchdown. This time he gets a first down on a run of nearly 20 yards out near the 40-yard line.
Bates is having a great day. The trap is working extremely well. Watch the quick handoff to Bates as he cuts back. You can see the trap man there. Popped it between the linebackers. Downfield to the safety man. Drain hitting him. He bounced right off Drain and then was picked up from behind.
A couple of plays ago, the ball was on the 13-yard line. Now it's on the 39-yard line. There goes Bates again for a couple of tough ones. Give him about 3. Second down 7 across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Oklahoma really stacked in there, including Johnny Lewis.
The Nebraska center, Remington, is 6'3", 283 pounds. Many people say he's the best offensive center in the country, and he looks like it here as he just fires out hard on Lewis and backs him off the line of scrimmage.
Get a little argument down in Missouri about that.
Well, you will.
Second down and 7. Maurer, like delay, pitches back. Craig is something else again. Another first down. Ball inside Oklahoma territory at the 46-yard line.
Beautiful execution of the option play again by Maurer. It's a little different pattern in Oklahoma. He reverse pivots, then he freezes to make the defense commit a little bit. Then you can see the option a little bit better. At least that's the opinion of the Nebraska coaching staff.
Jackie Shipp had to make yet another tackle. He'll have a great career here. This youngster out of Stillwater. He's got 2 more years left. First down, 46-yard line. Maurer very cool. To the eye back, and Craig gets a few yards down inside the 45-yard line where he is stacked up, and you can see Whaley down the bottom there. Berry and Walker, and there's that man again, Jackie Shipp, getting up.
Shipp is very, very quick. Great pursuit.
7:20 to go, third quarter. 24-14 Nebraska. It was Oklahoma 7, Nebraska nothing. Then it became 7-3, 10-7, 17-7, 24-7. And now in this half, Oklahoma's the only team to score. Second down and long. About 7. Well, Bates does not go very far there. Ball is loose, but well after the whistle blew. Oklahoma says they got the ball, but Bates was down for moments. Rick Bryan will be the man letting loose of Bates' legs and getting up. Bryan is 6'4", 244, and he too is a sophomore. So as concerned as Barry Switzer is about his defense, he's got some people around which to build. That looks like Johnny Lewis down, and if that is so, that is going to be a tough blow for Oklahoma because their other nose tackle or nose guard, Donnie Blakey, is out of this game. He is hurt.
Very young Oklahoma defense, and 7 sophomores starting and 1 freshman. So they've got a lot of years ahead of them, and they'll improve.
Danny Wilson, number 98, as listed as the backup nose guard today. He is a sophomore, 6 feet tall, 238. And we'll check that lineup to see if indeed it is Danny Wilson who takes over for Johnny Lewis. Third down, big play, and Mao's going to throw on this big play. Has the time, has the man, Brown! First down, 25-yard line. What a catch and what a hit on Todd Brown, the junior out of Holdridge, Nebraska.
He did a marvelous job of holding onto that football. He was hit just as he caught the ball. Maurer goes back, a little bit of an inside running fake there to try to freeze the linebackers. Maurer has time, puts the ball right on target as he's pressured a little bit, and then look at the hit that Brown received, but he was able to hang on to the football. First down, Nebraska.
And John Truitt, the defensive end of Oklahoma, limps off. So that's 2 of the starting 5 that are not in there. He's replaced by Orlando Flanagan. First down to the 25. The eye back, and a few yards for Roger Craig.
Cash.
6 minutes minutes exactly to go in the third quarter. That noise you hear, that's the noise we've been hearing in Owen Field, Norman, Oklahoma since the kickoff started. This crowd is better than 74,000, has not quite a doubt. Second down, 8 to go. The ball's on the 23-yard line. There is Craig again. Look at the speed. He breaks a couple of tackles and is near another first down. First of all, his speed behind the line of scrimmage, then his strength as he broke tackles. Albert Watts put him down at the 15-yard line. Third down and short.
Draw play here, but the Oklahoma men were not blocked as well as Craig just ran right by them. Look at his balance. Look at his speed. Look at his strength. How he cuts it back upfield to get the extra yardage.
Third down short. Nebraska trying to add to that cushion, which is not really a safe cushion at all. That was a team like Oklahoma, the leading rushing team in the country. Back again. There he goes again. That's Craig again, and I think he's got the first down. Oklahoma people are saying, no, he doesn't.
As you said, Jim, it's where did the officials mark the football? Where was the forward progress in their opinion?
He was hit at about the 15, had to get inside the 15, but he stumbled or was pushed forward. And they say he did not make it as they're going to spot it back on the 15-yard line. Oklahoma is right. Now, Nebraska is going to go for it. Steele is coming in. They're not sending on the field goal team. The worst that can happen is Oklahoma would take over on its own 15-yard line.
And they better hurry a little bit or they're going to get a delay of the game penalty.
Which would change the whole situation and make it fourth down and nearly 6 to go. 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Better get it off. And I don't think they're going to. There it is.
Will change, I believe, Tom Osborne's mind about what does he want to do.
Yes, sir. Eddie Neal is walking out on the field saying, how about me? Yep, they're going to send out Neal. I tell you, Dave Remington just took off his helmet. He's got it in his hands, and he is furious. The center that they didn't get it off in time. This will be not an easy one. This will be a 37-yard attempt by Eddie Neal. But remember, back in the first quarter, he hit on a 38-yard attempt. This drive started on the 13 from 37 yards out. Eddie Neal has done it again. 27 to 14. 3:53 to go. Eddie Neal has done everything asked of him. But I tell you, if it gets any closer, they wonder how in the world could we let that clock run out when we had fourth down and a half a yard to go. 27-14 Nebraska, third quarter. We knew we were going to have to bring along a couple of pads of paper here, Bud, for all these scoring drives, which have been plenty. This one was 67 yards, 10 plays, and it took them 5.5 minutes before they could get that field goal in. There's Todd Brown, who helped get that field goal with that great catch and took a shot to the head. It looked like it was around his nose when he came off the field, and again, we can't see, and he's kind of holding on to it.
His teammates are proud of him, and he's very proud of himself.
Oh, man, that 3 points could mean a lot before this one's over. There's what we said, 67 yards in 5.5 minutes. And now if Seidel will kick it off. Kevin Seidel, number 49. Boy, he looks like a nose guard himself. He is really a well-built young man. But his job is to kick the ball off, and does. And this is one of his longest kicks of the day. Driving Rhymes back to the goal line with 1 foot. Rhymes trying to get outside and break it. Lost the football. He lost it. And Nebraska's got it. It looks like number 49 of Nebraska is coming up with the ball, and that is Kevin Seibel, the kicker. Oh!
Oklahoma could least afford at this point in the game.
My heavens. It has hurt them all year long and hurts them again.
A very, very high kickoff. That gives the covering team a lot of time to come downfield. Rhymes thinks he sees a little bit of daylight to the outside as he is just scissored in there. Beautiful tackle. Helmet through the ball. Fumble. Nebraska has it.
And straight ahead goes Bates. And Bates gets inside the 10-yard line. The fumble was recovered on the 15, and Bates gets inside the 10. Second down, 4 to go. Rozier is the tailback. Turning the corner, Rozier bumped out of bounds across the way by Dwight Green. But it'll be a first down and goal to go Nebraska. They're in a position to put this thing away.
Straight ahead power sweep by Nebraska. Man in motion steals. The toss back. Rozier gets outside, turns upfield, is bumped out of bounds. He picked up the all-important first down to the 3-yard line.
Osborne's group having a good day, never lost their poise. Good football team. Without their starting quarterback, straight ahead goes Bates. Touchdown number 2 for Phil Bates. And Oklahoma, as good as they can rush the ball, the key is they do rush the ball, and that takes time.
They very often get the breakaway run. They move it out very well, but they're not a passing football team, and it's difficult with time running out to get lots of yardage unless you can put the ball in the air effectively.
Eddie Neal, who's had 2 field goals today, and to try yet, or I gave your pardon, that is Kevin Seidel, who was recovery of the fumble, allowed them to take this on in, kicks the extra point. Wow. Well, I'll let you talk about this, and I'll talk about the next.
Well, it's a perfect execution of that trap play that we've been talking about all day. You see them wiping out the men. The linebacker, safety man rather, came up and hit Bates, but safety men from the 2-yard line can't keep you short of a touchdown.
How do you think Barry Switzer thinks now? He had lost only 9 before this year, and this may be his 4th loss of this year. Nearly 50% of the total losses in the previous 9 years. The walls come tumbling down. But Oklahoma gets Oklahoma State next week, and then the Sun Bowl, so it's not over for the Sooners yet.
Got a lot of injuries. Young defensive football team. They've been close, but they fumbled the ball away 3.5 times. They turned it over 3.5 times a game, and they have not been a sufficiently solid defensive team to give the ball up that often and still win.
Remember, the Davis Cup Finals coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, December 11, 12, and 13, live here on ESPN. Cliff Drysdale and I will be down there as the USA tries to take it away from Argentina. When I say take it away, Argentina beat the USA in not the finals a year ago, but they beat McEnroe twice, and that was quite a shocker. Now the USA has already disposed of the defending champion Czechoslovakia in New York, and then took Australia out in Portland, Oregon. ESPN was there, and now we're going on to the finals and revenge on Argentina, perhaps. Seibel to kick off. Rhymes, who fumbled the ball before, will call for a fair catch. That is the second time we have seen a. Now that's got to be a record. 2 fair catches on kickoff in one game. I've never seen 2.
I agree with you totally, Jim. Absolutely a record.
I have never seen 2 fair catches on a kickoff in a game.
Never seen a man kick the ball any higher, however.
That's right. 34-14. That's what happened. 3 plays, 15 yards. Bates took it in from 2 yards out, and it took him only 42 seconds after that costly fumble. Well, Nebraska will be no, quote, cheese champion going down to the Orange Bowl. That's a good football team you're watching out there. There is Stanley Wilson going straight ahead, and Wilson does not get a first down, but it'll be second down and about 5. And there's the situation. Naturally, Bud, they're down in the shadow of their own goal post, and they don't want to give up the football. The time, they've got about 17.5 minutes in order to score 20 points, just to tie. They can do it, but every time they run the ball as they just did, nearly a minute goes off the clock.
Nebraska's only stopped them once without making a first down when they had a possession. So they moved the ball consistently.
Porter. There's Shepard. And out of bounds.
And that's why they are so tough. He just is a great runner. One man is not going to get him down. We'll take a look at Evans, the linebacker there, number 48. Moving to the outside. He was supposed to be taking on the quarterback that time, and he did execute his assignment, but did not execute his tackle.
No, Shepard may not get his 100 yards this game, but he got really a big lick in the first half and has come back to lead his team, doing his job offensively. He's going to throw. He can get away, and he can't get away. Down he goes. Nebraska defense much too tough. He was going to throw, then tried to get away, then tried to throw, and down he went.
Woodson, but Nebraska's been doing a very good job of covering the Oklahoma wide receiver. See the fake here. He's ready to throw very quickly, but Grayson was covered on the play, so he tries to reverse his field. There's just nothing there. A tackle made by Jimmy Williams.
Second down, 11 from the 24-yard line. 34-14, third quarter, Nebraska. And handoff this time, and straight ahead goes Stanley Wilson. Only this time, Felici and company, Waxter included, shut it down. Yeah, that's one good thing anyway, to see Stanley Wilson, the good junior, with better than 150 yards back in the ballgame after the hit he took from Dan Croker.
If he makes 156 yards today, Jim, he'll be over the 1,000 yards for the season.
Well, he's got that.
So I think he has it, yes.
He's got that. Barry Switzer, though, doesn't end this week. He's got another game, as we said, to prepare for. But this is the game out in this part of the country. Shepard. Down he goes. Not a first down. It's fourth down. They'll have to kick it away. They get 5 yards to go. And they're still in the third quarter. Jeff Krejci again in on a tackle, and an Oklahoma man slow getting up. And I just think it's absolute frustration. That's Bill Bechtold, the center. With absolute frustration they did not make it. Darrell Shepard slowly getting up.
Nebraska late putting in their punt return team. They thought Oklahoma might go for it, the score being what it is.
Pryor goes deep in double safety with Alan Lydé. And Keeling, who does all the kicking for Oklahoma. Line drives this one. Pryor's got a chance for a return. Takes the 31-yard line. Across the 35. Across the 40. And out across the 45. First down nearly at midfield. A line drive kick, and Irving Pryor was off and running with it. And he can speed, a sophomore out of Mount Holly, New Jersey.
That was only a 26 net yard punt. Generally kicked the ball far enough, but it was too low, as you pointed out, and a good return.
All on the 46-yard line. 24 seconds left in this third quarter. Brown is back in, so the hit he took to the face has not kept him out of the ballgame. Nebraska to the I-back, and that is Roger Craig getting across the 50-yard line. He's in there with Doug Wokening. That may be the last play of the third quarter. Time is all. If you see Nebraska do nothing but run the ball now, it's very obvious why they're doing it, because every time they run the ball, a minute almost goes off that clock, and that is good for them.
I think Tom Osborne, Jim, will just keep trying to have that totally well-balanced offense he's had all game.
Yeah, you may be right. I'll tell you one thing. Somebody on Nebraska, a lot of folks are doing something right, because at the end of three quarters, the Cornhuskers of Nebraska 34, the Sooners of Oklahoma 14. More than 74,000 in the stands, and another 200 in the press box of broadcasters watching this game. As we said at the beginning, when we talked to the people in Oklahoma, even though the odds maker said Nebraska is favored, and Oklahoma did lose such people as Chet Withers and Don Key and the rest, and has not had the good year that they normally have, even though all of that was in favor of Nebraska, the Oklahoma folks saying somehow the Sooners will win. And if they do, it'll be somehow, I'll tell you.
Well, at this point in the game, I think that's why I don't think Tom Osborne ever would try to roll it up on anybody, but they would like to bury the jinx once and for all this afternoon.
Well, you know, all of the reporters, including ESPN, when they went to Tom Osborne, that's the first thing they said. How is it? How do you feel about losing 8 out of 9 to Barry Switzer?
His answer, I think, Jim, was always correct in that he played the games one at a time, and you hope you can make your maximum effort in every game. Nebraska has played well against Oklahoma. I don't think they've ever played with this much freedom offensively and this variety of offensive patterns. I think that against an inexperienced defense like Oklahoma, that's one of the reasons it's been very, very successful.
Brown to the left and Steele to the right as we begin the final 15 minutes. Ball on the 49-yard line of Oklahoma. Nebraska looking to really put it away. And there goes Rozier. Got a good block outside, and he's going to get inside the 45-yard line. Taken out across the way, I believe, by Stanberry, the freshman out of Mount Pleasant, Texas, number 19, playing strong safety.
This is the little misdirection play. Quarterback goes one way, Rozier goes the other way. Everything was taken care of inside, so he just used his speed to break it to the outside for the first down.
Bates has been the man in the ball game now as Wokening comes out. They've got Bates and Rozier as your fullback and I-back for Nebraska. First down, 42-yard line. First man through is Bates. Bates breaks a tackle and gets inside the 40. A gain of 2. Second down and 9. Up top was Jackie Shipp, of course, but down at the bottom was the man we just mentioned, Keith Stanberry, the freshman, playing that strong safety spot. Wilkening now comes back in. And Bates comes out.
And the statistics, a beautiful balance by Nebraska, 229 yards running, 129 throwing. Oklahoma, a great rushing football team, 256 yards on the ground.
Rozier turns the corner, knocked down, but I believe they're going to mark it first down at the 30-yard line. Scott Woodard in the ball game now for Nebraska as a split end, number 88.
The Nebraska line has been doing a marvelous job of blocking all day long. Frank, Kwapik, Quather, Remington, Mandelko. Their backs have also been doing a beautiful job of carrying the football, as Rozier is doing here as he picks up the first down.
They have used Steele and Fryer as wingbacks, Brown and Woodard as split backs, and Crank as your tight end along with Woodard. First down. There's Rozier dragging him down is number 57, Steve Whaley.
He is strong, Jim. He refuses to go down.
He's also watching his buddy and the fellow that plays with him in that I-back spot, Roger Craig, do the same kind of thing. Gets the adrenaline going.
I don't think I've ever seen a team that has as fine a 1-2 punch at tailback as this Nebraska team has with Craig and Rozier.
Timeout. Whaley now goes off injured. He was the man that made the good play, and he goes out of there. Craig comes back in as I-back.
When you automate them that way, each one of them is fresh all of the time.
Second down, 6 to go on the 27-yard line. Nebraska looking for another. There's Craig. Boy, he's got some moves. And a flag is down as Craig is down. The man you saw hanging on was number 53, Orlando Flanagan.
And that's the second holding penalty of the game against Nebraska.
On a second down situation, 2nd and 6. They got the ball down where it'd be 3rd and about a yard. Flag was thrown, and they're going to come back the other way.
The last time that they got the holding penalty, they got an interference call against Oklahoma on a pass, which gave them the first down.
Remember, this is our last game for Bud and me. Well, of November, at least, because we're going to be back in January live from the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, when all of the top seniors get down there and the people start figuring out which are the better seconds. The one from Missouri, the one from Oklahoma, or Nebraska, or Penn State. Second down, 11. Now running that little hesitation, and Orlando Flanagan drags him down again at the 25-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and about 5. But that clock ticks away and ticks below the 13-minute mark with the Huskers up by 20. There's what they've done.
Very, very consistent offensively. They've only been stopped once by Oklahoma without putting points on the board.
If my memory serves me correctly, and I'm sure it does, Oklahoma's biggest quarter of the year has always been the second, and they got no points in the second quarter of this game. They've scored about 85 points. Flag down again. Maurer to throw. Oh, has he got time? Only the flag is on. Puts the ball up, and it is caught. Touchdown. That is Fryer in the end zone. He is thrilled. But hold on before you get too thrilled, because, well, that's Steele's, I guess.
I think that they were in motion.
It went down so quickly. They were offside is what it was. But everybody was going. Fryer was happy. Steele was happy. Down in the end zone, and half the Oklahoma defense, but just kind of let up upfield. Downfield, they were still trying to cover Steele, but he caught the ball, thought he had something.
But again, great pass protection by the Nebraska line. Maurer had all day to throw the football.
Well, that is the second time a touchdown has been called back against Nebraska. And, of course, the first time when Roger Craig went into the end zone, it was a 5-yard penalty, took it back to about the 5.5-yard line, and they quickly threw the ball to Mitch Crank. This time, it was a long pass to Anthony Steele. And it does not count. So it's 3rd down and 10. Maurer throws, has a man there. hangs on to him. Across the middle, first down, and that's another big down for the Nebraska offense.
Maurer is having just a remarkably fine day throwing the football. We've said it many, many times, but he continues to play extremely well. Looking at the pass thrown right at you. Steele's crossing the field. Watts with him, but he had the step on him, and the pass was right on target.
First down from the 11-yard line. Straight up the middle goes the man who scored a couple of touchdowns. Bill Bates, the fullback. He had scored 5 before today. He's got 7 on the year lugging the ball. And Mark Maurer is 11 of 16 for 148 yards. We're still thinking about the player of the game. Is it Craig? Is it Lazier? Is it Krejci? Is it Maurer? We got a lot of time left. Let's hang in there.
A little bit, Jim, about the offensive line of Nebraska.
Oh, boy, I want to tell you. They've done an outstanding job. Second down. About 7 to go. Here's your eye back again, and I don't think this time that Roger Craig is going to go too far. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Orlando Flanagan up top. That's one time that he was breaking some tackles, but every time he'd break one, there was another man there.
He had a little tattered jersey as we watch the play again. It's the toss back. He tries to hit it up inside. There's nothing there. Oklahoma's pursuit. They've got the gaps filled very well. He breaks it to the outside. Is able to move it past Watts, but then the rest of the team is on top of him.
Ball is on the 7-yard line. It is third down and about 6 to go for the first down. 2 wide receivers to the right, Brown and Rozier. They wanted to go to Crank again, the tight end. They sent another man over there. They threw the ball out over there, and no good. Across the way, the ball was thrown too low for the intended receiver, and that was Irving Fryer, number 27, getting up in your picture there, adjusting his shoulder pads. So now 4th down, and they're coming on, and I do not. Yep, there I'm looking for. There's Mark Maurer. We're seeing there is Eddie Neal. He's come out. He's on the 14-yard line, and he has thus far field goals of 38 and 37 yards. This will be 24 yards and a slight angle left to right. The picture perfect thus far. From 24 yards out, it is good. Well, we'll say, okay, it is 37-14. But what it really means now is 3 touchdowns. Just don't do it. Sooners of Oklahoma have a real uphill road. 37-14, Nebraska. The sun is shining on the Cornhuskers of Nebraska, who realize that they will be down along the shores of the Atlantic Ocean where the sun shines most of the time, and that is beautiful Miami, Florida for the Orange Bowl. And that is going to be an outstanding trip for them, and I think that they're going to savor this all next year and all winter, no matter what happens in the Orange Bowl, because they've been waiting for this for a little while.
This is the game they wanted more than any other game.
And conversely, Oklahoma on the way to the Sun Bowl down in El Paso, which is also an outstanding area in which to visit or play football. They'll remember this for a long while. This is the game they wanted to win most of all, and apparently will not. As Nebraska has it all going now, the points on the scoreboard, superiority on defense, and a diversification on offense that has the young defensive Oklahoma rather befuddled. Plus the fact Oklahoma really doesn't have a passing attack to go to open this thing up to get back some quick scores. They can throw, but they don't throw too well. This time, Thibault puts it out of the end zone. I was wondering if we were going to set an all-time collegiate record by having Rhymes call for a 3rd fair catch on a kickoff. But this time, Seibel took care of it and put it out of the end zone. Oklahoma has the ball 1st and 10 on their own 20 with 10.5 minutes to go.
Apparently, he's got 2 different styles of kicking off. He's been kicking the ball high, high, high in the air. This one looks on the camera as though it's high, but it was really more of a line drive and about maybe 20 yards further than the other kickoffs.
Shepard has to go to the pass, gets the pass down there, and the pass is caught and thrown out of bounds. That is Paul Close, a freshman out of Oklahoma City, just down the road. First down, Oklahoma. Sandy Sims threw him out of bounds. Ball's at the 38-yard line. And Cluis goes out of the game.
Very good throw that time by Shepard. He's throwing some bad balls, but you can't throw it any better than that one.
And now David Carter, another freshman from Aldous, Oklahoma, comes in with the play. Grayson goes wide to the left, and Carter comes to the right. Lines a flanker again. This time that is Stanley Lewis for a few yards. Across the 40. Kelly Phelps is your quarterback now, coming into the game, junior out of Oklahoma City. And I guess that we feel that Phelps can throw the ball better.
Don't know how sore Shepard is either. He's really been bumped around a little bit today.
And a Nebraska man is limping off the field. Phelps is a junior. Second down, 4 to go. Phelps carrying the football, and down he goes. Fine play made by Tony Felici. Felici, we saw him play his way right into the starting lineup with a few moments of a Florida State game, and nobody's moved him off that right defensive end position at all. Got the build of a linebacker, 6'2", 197, and he usually plays that kind of end, dropping off.
Just absolutely eliminate the man trying to block him that time, which I believe was Graham.
Mason goes out of the ball game. It is 3rd down and 5 to go. Oklahoma has to hang on to the football. Rather easy. No contest at all. That was Toby Williams, number 97, and it's 4th down. And Oklahoma apparently is going to kick the ball away with 9 minutes to go and down by 23 points. And 4th down and 4. They're going to give up the football.
Nebraska's thinking it might be some kind of a trick play, so they're not going to go into any hard forcing the defense. They've got ready to play.
They do have a man up close. They could run the football or pass it, remember. But they passed it back, and Keeling's going to kick it away. Their catch called for at the 21-yard line and taken right there by a back, Lingenquist, who stayed in the ball game. So we've got 8:37 now to go, and this is the day that the Cornhuskers are shining. They lead 37-14. Well, there's a little discussion because there's a flag on the play of the kick, and now they have finally gotten it away. They said a legal procedure charged against Oklahoma. They have not given it the wave off, but Nebraska's offensive team is on. And now they give us the wave off. So it is 1st down at the 21-yard line for Nebraska. The Senior Bowl, as we said, live from Mobile, Alabama. 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time here on ESPN. Bud and I and, I guess about 60 or 70 of the finest seniors in the land will be down there.
Along with all of the professional scouts and coaching staff.
And coaches, like a professional coaches convention. All that good seafood, all that good talent on the field. Bauer hands the ball off, and there goes Bill Bates. He's having a good day today, and that's close to a 1st down, just inside the 30-yard line.
I hate to mention this because of that so-called jinx factor, but Nebraska has been a very error-free football team. They have not fumbled the ball. They have not thrown the interception. Their only miscues have been penalties. Well,
I want you to start thinking, even though we've got 8 minutes to go, but we got to pick a most valuable player, so
I'm giving it great thought.
Okay. And we'll let you know when we know. Rozier and Bates are the odd and fullback. That is Rozier. Wow. Hit and gets away and finds a hole and is dragged down and has a 1st down at the 40-yard line. He took a hit, and he put the hit on the man and put him on, or tried to hit him. Oh, he and Craig are really something.
Remarkable play. There's just nothing there at all, and it's almost a miscue play. Maurer hands the ball off. He's supposed to go inside the Oklahoma line just across the field. He reverses his field, finds a delayed good block, moves downfield, picks up a 1st down. And they say, Jim, that you don't teach that kind of talent, you recruit it.
Rozier before then had 95 yards on 19 carries, and you're thinking that Craig is the man doing all the work. They're both outstanding. 1st down. And, there's the pitch out again. Steele's pitching out, and Rozier, the man, taking the ball on the pitch out. That's the 2nd time we have seen that play. And for the 2nd time, it came to the short side, Bud.
It's very interesting to watch, and it's a very exciting play, but it's not been very effective against the Oklahoma defense. However, it does keep them balanced up for the plays that have been making so much yardage.
2nd down and 7 to go. Nebraska. Fire in motion. Pitch back. Rozier. No place to go. And down he goes as he hits to the 45-yard line of Nebraska. How about that? First 4-loss season in his 9 years as a Sooner coach. And when you consider he'd lost only 9 in those 9 years before today, or before this year, this is not the kind of year that Barry Switzer's used to, Oklahoma players are used to, and the Oklahoma fans are not used to. Funny, yes, sir. Even it's odd, Bud, but go around the country. But even here in Oklahoma, where Barry Switzer's taken them to all those bowls, he's going to another one this year, won all those bowls. Superman in the Orange Bowl, and he's lost 3, maybe 4, and you should hear what some of the people say.
Well, it's the same thing as in politics. What have you done for me lately?
That's right. Don't tell me what you did last year or the year before. I want to know what's going on now. 6:41 to go, 37-14 the score. Man down on the field. And we'll remind you that basketball will be on ESPN Live next. Tell you something in a minute. Maybe, Mark, if you can hold that shot, we'll tell him in a minute. Here's Rozier trying to get away, and thus far has gotten away. Gets a good block on the far sideline and may have the first down. Okay, now show the shot that we showed him before. Don't want to embarrass him, and he's an easily embarrassable type. That is the Bud Wilkinson Center here on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. I said driving in there today, I know Bud's proud of it. I said, I like the fact that they put your first name up there, Bud. It's not the Wilkinson house. They know it's Bud's house.
Very good. Thank you.
It's 4th down and short, and Nebraska will have to kick the ball away. But they have run some time off the clock, nearly 3 minutes since they last got it, and they're leading 37-14.
And I don't think we'll see any kind of a fake here. I think he really will kick it away.
Back deep goes Albert Watts. He's an outstanding punt returner. We've not called his number or name too many times today, but this is going to be a short high kick. He's got to call for the fair catch, and does inside the 20-yard line. 6:11 to go. The stands to the right and to the left of us in the end zone, which were packed, are maybe half full now, as those stands are mostly occupied by Oklahoma fans who figure in this town of Norman, Oklahoma, which is a beautiful little town but doesn't have a freeway system running through it, they better get out and beat the traffic because their team has lost.
There's one very packed area of the stadium, Jim, and that's across the field on the end zone side where all of the Nebraska fans are there, and there's not one of them going to leave until this thing is over.
The sun is shining. Phelps hands the ball off, and there goes Wilson again. Out across the 30-yard line, and Brent Evans makes the stop there. That should be a first down for Oklahoma. We'll check on Stanley Wilson's total yardage because he is having a good day in a losing cause. He is a great back for Oklahoma, and he's got another year to go. And he took a hit from Dan Kroger that I thought he would put out. 161 yards. That puts him over the 1,000-yard mark, right?
That is right.
For the season.
He's a remarkable player.
And another regular season game to go, plus the bowl.
He used to live down here.
Phelps in trouble, deep trouble, and out of trouble because it's all over. He'll start the next play from his own 21-yard line. That's a loss of about 8. Jimmy Williams was pressuring him.
He did the right thing, Jim. When a quarterback is thrown for a loss of that kind, it's hard to say that maybe that was the correct thing, but everybody was covered, and he did not really have time to get the ball up to throw it away.
5.5 minutes left in this ball game. Nebraska and Oklahoma have shared this Big 8 title for so long, or each one has won it and the other has been the runner-up. This year, Nebraska had it won before they came in here.
Hello.
There is Phelps. Phelps drills the football and coming back for it. It is not a first down. Out near the 34-yard line is number 82, Paul Cluis. They've got to get out to the 39-yard line in order to get the first down. 4:52 to go. All right. We will let you know in a moment who our Vitalis player of the game is as David Carter comes in. But we're going to keep you hanging for a little bit more. But I think we got it in mind. We're going to take some more time with it. And why don't you guess along with us? We've got our idea. Whom do you pick? Well, the ball was intended for Alvin Ross, thrown by Kelly Phelps, and it was thrown right past him. and Krejci and Rodney Lewis are happy, slapping hands in the defensive backfield for Nebraska. And of course, along the sideline, you can go a long time and to graduate from either Nebraska or Oklahoma and have to tell everybody that you never ever beat one or the other while you were in school playing football. That's tough to take.
Well, this win emotionally is perhaps as big as Nebraska has had in a number of years. The Oklahoma Jinx, Tom Osborne being 1-8, was beginning to be a real thing, but they have been totally the dominant team this afternoon.
And now have until January 1st off. Of course, they'll be practicing, shaking out a little bit, but no more games between now and January 1st when they get the big one in the Orange Bowl. 4th down, Oklahoma apparently to kick the ball away again.
And Nebraska thinking anything but punt. Their defensive alignment has them ready to defend against the pass and the run.
Officials still standing there on the 34-yard line. Conversation, and now John McClintock, the referee, says, let's get this thing going here. Healing the kicker as you look right at him from the other end zone. Friday watches the ball bounce and go out of bounds. Well, 4:23 to go in this ball game, and the Huskers have done it. They lead Oklahoma 37-14, and I think that our man is going to be the man of the hour, is going to be a Husker, and I'll tell you who it is when we come back. First down. Ball on the 29-yard line. That is Steele's in motion, and there's Bruce Matheson, who is the quarterback. Our Vitalis player of the game is a man who started the season. This is his final year with Nebraska. He lost out to Turner Gill, and he came back with Turner Gill injured, and Mark Maurer, 11 of 16, 148 yards, a touchdown, and coolness under fire is our most valuable player.
No interceptions, no turnovers, and that means that the quarterback is doing a beautiful job of handling the football, of directing his team. Maurer gave him poise, and he was on the spot today with Turner Gill out.
Vitalis player, and now it is Bruce Matheson running the offense. Matheson breaks loose, and boy, did he knock down two Oklahoma defensive men. They came up, and the quarterback of Nebraska simply bowled them over.
Talked to Tom Osborne before the game. He said Matheson is stronger than Maurer. He's got an arm that can deliver the ball a little harder. I said, well, how much is he going to play? He said, I don't know, because he's not got nearly as much experience. And that was certainly solid judgment, because as we've already said, Maurer has had a great day.
Autographs along the sideline. This is great for Mark Maurer and for Nebraska. For Oklahoma, it's regroup. They got Oklahoma State coming up. Rozier carrying the ball and does not get too far, but again, that takes time off the clock, which now shows 3:45 and counting. You know, it is something. The statistics will go if you're looking in there. Rozier and Roger Craig and all the great running they did, but Mark Maurer is the catalyst. He's the man who made it go.
Quarterback puts it all together, just as you said, Jim. You can play no better than your quarterback.
3:25 to go. Matheson hands the ball off to Rozier again. It's going to be 3rd down and about 5 to go as Rozier just barely crosses into Oklahoma territory. Clock winding down. And as low as Oklahoma feels right now, if they beat Oklahoma State next week, and then whoever it is in the Sun Bowl, if they beat them, they'll have a pretty good winter. I mean, they'll remember a lot of things, and they'll remember next November that Nebraska beat them when they go down to Lincoln to return the favor.
Run the ball as well as any team in football, so they're dangerous any afternoon.
Matheson's going to put it up, and he threw it between the men who were there to block and the man he was trying to throw it to, and that's the newest man in there for Nebraska, and that is Tim Brungart, a fullback, number 32.
Really did not see the receiver. It was a screen pass, and the linemen out there were in position to make their blocks, and Matheson just couldn't figure out who am I supposed to throw it to.
Stops the clock, and on comes the kicker. That is Grant Campbell to kick the ball away, and Albert Watts is deep. 2:42 left. Angles the ball. Watts, whoops, bounces off, picks it up. Well, at least Albert Watts didn't fumble the ball away. He almost did.
He got hit.
Woo. Got hit very hard downfield very quickly. Was Moravec and McElroy, the M men, and somebody's hurt down there, and it could be that Watts is slow in getting up. It is, because he's the guy that got hit. 2.5 minutes left. He's got to play again next week. They got to go to Oklahoma State. That won't be easy.
See the ball hitting him really on the face mask, bouncing away. He's got good poise, picking it up, but then the Nebraska people are just all over him.
You know, Bud, you're right. Down across the field to our right, there is a section that is completely red, and no one has left. Now, both teams use red, but these are the red from Nebraska. The band, the fans, they're in the sunlight, and they're just having a heck of a time. Around them on both sides, the stands have begun to empty. That is the Nebraska group. Now, as we look down to the left, you'll see how the seats begin to pop up in there as a lot of people have gone home. Because that's the Oklahoma side.
I'm not used to seeing this happen. If the Sooners lose, it's usually by a very small margin, and the game is still very much open for either team late in the fourth quarter.
37-14. The one good thing that we can talk about is we know that we'll probably be down in Lincoln next year. Same game, same thing, talk about the same kind of thing. That's what makes this rivalry and these two teams so great.
Yeah, but I'll be saying that Tom is 2 and 9 now, so he's been jinxed.
Phelps hands the ball off, and Wilson still got it. The Oklahoma coaching staff says that Stanley Wilson and all of his fumbles, and he has fumbled quite a bit, as has nearly everybody in that backfield at the triple option. But Stanley usually fumbles because of the second effort. He's hit. He said that if he'd go down, he wouldn't fumble, but he doesn't want to go down, and so he keeps on going, and that's when he usually fumbles.
And you're off balance a little bit when you're trying to adjust from running past or through somebody who's hit you fairly hard.
Ball on the 14-yard line, second down, about 5 to go, and Oklahoma is going nowhere. Ball was handed off, and this time Stanley Wilson just hardly got to the line of scrimmage.
The Nebraska defense has done a great job of keeping their poise and improving as the game goes along. The first Oklahoma drive was 80 yards in 6 plays, and it really looked like almost a dummy scrimmage practice. They moved it so easily. Many teams would panic in that situation, and really it's the speed with which Oklahoma hits you that you can't practice against. But as the game went along, Nebraska's defense was tougher and tougher and tougher.
Less than a minute and a half to go. Third down and a couple of yards for Oklahoma from their own 16-yard line. Phelps dropped the football, but it goes out of bounds. Nebraska's Tim Holbrook tried to jump on it after Lyde hit Phelps and couldn't come up with it.
And Phelps here is running the classic wishbone option. He faked to Wilson. Wilson can't find anybody to block this time. Phelps turns up the field, and you can see the ball in one hand, and as he's hit, the ball pops loose and goes out of bounds, so they do not lose it. A lot of people say, why doesn't the quarterback put that ball away? Well, you can't lateral the ball if you got it under your arm, so you've got to kind of hold it out there in front of you.
First down as he fumbled forward. Looks like Watts is being helped off the field. That will be dangerous for next week. Ball is overthrown and almost intercepted, and a flag goes down. The ball was intended for Cluis. The ball was well over his head, but Holbrook, number 23, just hit him, and I think they're going to say it is defensive interference. In any event, Albert Watts is their right cornerback, and he is a good one for Oklahoma, and they've just kind of arms around two men's shoulders, walked between them, and limped off the field. Penalty, as you can see, is against Nebraska, and they'll talk to Oklahoma. 1:10 to go in this 37-14 ball game. Out to the 38-yard line. The helicopter you hear in the background, and you hear the PA on the field also. The helicopters, I guess the local radio station is starting its traffic reports as the people of 74,000 people start to move out of Norman, many of them on their way back to Oklahoma City or to Omaha or to Lincoln. The penalties have not hurt Nebraska as much as they have hurt Oklahoma. Phelps back throwing on the run, 10 for Grayson, and no near anybody. Over there was Rodney Lewis, closest man to it. 1:05 to go. Nebraska has won, which may surprise the Oklahoma fans, those of who figured that they'd find a way to win this thing. But by, as you pointed out moments ago, by the margin of their victory and by the dominance of Nebraska. And each time, Oklahoma started off each half just like a whirlwind. And Nebraska came back after that and took over in each half. Ball is almost intercepted. Another flag goes down. This was intended for David Carter. And it might be Alan Lydie this time called for defensive interference. That'll take the ball across the 50-yard line with 1 minute left.
You don't need to be quite that enthusiastic trying to cover those passes.
All they have to do is let someone catch it, tackle him, and the time will darn near run out. However, Tom Osborne, his record is 9-2 for the year. Got off to that start, remember, Osborne did, when he was beaten by Iowa, and then he's beaten by Penn State. But has recovered nicely, mostly due to the leadership of Turner Gill, the quarterback who couldn't play today. And Mark Maurer has done an outstanding job. Phelps swings the ball out. Wow, what a catch made there. Outstanding catch. Back coming out of the backfield, Steve Sewell, a freshman of San Francisco, who caught one for a touchdown last year. And Wade Pruner, a defensive end, made the stop. And that has the clock continuing to go. No one is calling time in this 37-14 ball game. Ball at the 45-yard line of Nebraska. Well, I tip of the hat to Tom Osborne. So many times we had to give him the condolences. The ball is thrown behind Sewell this time. Lydie was there. And for the first time in a long while, we'd have to send our condolences across the field to Barry Switzer. 5-4-1. Had lost 9 altogether before this year. In 9 years of coaching. And he's not out of the woods yet. Oklahoma State's a good ball club.
And he's got so many people banged up a little bit. It'll be a patched up lineup going against Oklahoma State.
Watts going off the field. He's very thin in the defensive secondary anyway.
Nebraska's had 7 penalties for 75 yards, but those are the only miscues that they've committed all day long.
Phelps tries to get the ball away. Sewell bobbles it and can't hold on to it. At the 38-yard line, 21 seconds to go.
And a very good throw that time, right on target.
Phelps will be back next year. The rest of the seniors are playing out the string, and Tom Osborne,
he is one happy man, believe me.
Has to be. He has been a man who has been on the hot spot with his fans, not for failing to win football games, but for failing to beat Oklahoma. He wins football games. 4th down, Oklahoma naturally will try with 21 seconds to go. Phelps is back for one last shot. Puts the ball up, downfield, and it is almost intercepted. Intended for David, or rather Paul Cluis downfield. And the man back there is a man that doesn't get very much time, even though he's the backup safety man to Jeff Krejci. The reason he doesn't get too much time is Krejci plays so well. That is Chris Van Norman, number 38, who almost intercepted that ball. Well, the ball goes over to Nebraska. The Cornhuskers with 14 seconds to go. Have the football, have the victory, have the Big 8 championship, have the opportunity to go to the Orange Bowl. The Orange Bowl has several representatives up here to officially extend the invitation at the appointed hour this evening when those invitations can be extended. And I'm sure that that'll just be ice cream after the entree, because what Nebraska really wanted, they knew they were going to go to the Orange Bowl, was this ball game. And they have got this ball game. And time is going to run out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's over. A rarity in this series in the last 10 years. And that is Nebraska has won. And the real rarity is, Bud Wilkinson, that they dominated Oklahoma.
They truly did, Jim. They were stopped on their first possession in the second half. They were never stopped from scoring on any possession in the first half. They came back after Oklahoma had scored their touchdown in the second half, kicked a field goal 27-14 on the big killer play for Oklahoma. Buster Rhymes fumbled the following kickoff. Nebraska recovered him at 15, put it in the end zone in 3 plays, and that was it.
Well, I tell you, Bud, things that start out poorly sometimes end up very well. They were talking about Tom Osborne, his lack of picking the right quarterback, lack of imagination, failure to beat Iowa, failure to beat Penn State. But here's a man that turned it around. They got up to such a poor start, and they finished with a rush to wind up 9-2 and to beat Nebraska by the score of 37-14. And his next date is in Miami, Florida for the Orange Bowl. Our congratulations to Nebraska on its win today. Good luck to Oklahoma and Oklahoma State next week. And good luck to Oklahoma, which apparently is going to the Sun Bowl. I'm Jim Simpson with Bud Wilkinson in Owen Field, Norman, Oklahoma. The final score, Nebraska 37, Oklahoma 14.
Watch.
Well, you have heard the last, I'm not a musician, bar or two, or a few notes of Boomer Sooner, but you hear no one going, yay, because Oklahoma, Bud, it's a very quiet stadium. And believe me, this ball game is just seconds over, and it is very, very quiet.
Well, Nebraska was totally the dominant team. The first time Oklahoma got the ball, it appeared that they were going to have another one of those track meets out here. But then the Nebraska defense adjusted extremely well, and their offense moved the ball with total consistency. They put points on the board in each of their possessions in the first half. They were stopped the first time they had the ball in the second half, but then they put points on the board on the next 3 possessions. So they were really a great football team today.
I've got to hand it even to the Nebraska band, which is sitting over in the corner, not playing music, letting Oklahoma, the host team, have its final moments, because the season belongs to Nebraska. They have defeated their arch rival only for the second time in 10 years of Tom Osborne's reign. 37-14, Nebraska wins it. Today's telecasts have been brought to you by Owens Corning Fiberglass Corporation, makers of Owens Corning Pink fiberglass insulation, and by Timex, we make technology beautiful, and by Natural Light, the beer with a taste for food. Remember, be with ESPN on our next game, which is our live coverage of the Senior Bowl down in Mobile, Alabama. But I know that you, as well as I, look forward to going back to that wonderful state and that outstanding Senior Bowl game.
It will really be a great game for anyone who is interested in the future of athletes who have wound up their college football careers. The best of the college seniors play in the game. It's their first introduction to the all-star type competition they'll meet in bowl when they become pros.
We look forward to it. That's the Senior Bowl Saturday, January 16th at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time on ESPN Live. Final score, Nebraska 37, Oklahoma 14. Goodbye from Norman, Oklahoma.